the details. All right, we're going to start with the Razzies. The nominations have come out. So we will find out. They are, of course, highlighting the worst movies of the year, at least according to the organization in charge of the nominations. So I'll run through this stuff, and you get a lot of repeated titles and people in the Razzies usually. So worst picture, the nominees are The Exorcist Believer, Expendables 4, Meg 2, The Trench, Shazam, Fury of the Gods, and Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Okay, so I've seen all
I
of
didn't
these.
see any of them.
Yeah.
None of them.
Wait. I saw Shazam, and we started watching Meg 2. We were on a Meg. We were doing the
Megs
one.
up.
Meg marathon.
You and Seamus?
Actually, Avery.
Okay, because Ben's really into the Meg stuff.
Listen, they are fun crap movies.
Yeah.
I sometimes I think what they do though is the Razzies. I don't forget who we're talking to. We talked about this as well. They don't quite stay in the realm of, I think, a movie that attempted to be good.
Yeah,
I mean
these. I'm like, come
the
on.
Meg wasn't like the Winnie the Pooh movie. The Winnie the Pooh movie is meant to be a crappy horror movie.
Yeah.
So, but I thought Shazam 2 was okay.
I enjoyed it, but that of all those titles is the only one that is like, oh, okay, well, this was a box office sort of.
Right.
They were actually trying to make something decent.
Expendables 4, they were also hoping for, but that's something where you don't even have Stallone in it hardly at all. So,
all right, I'm just going to give you a couple of more because I have a lot of stories to get to this morning. So, worst actor, Russell Crowe in The Pope's Exorcist, Vin Diesel in Fast X, Chris Evans in Ghosted, Jason Statham in Meg 2, and John Voight in Mercy. Worst actress was Ana de Armas in Ghosted, Megan Fox in Johnny and Clyde, Salma Hayek in Magic Mike's Last Dance, Jennifer Lopez in The Mother, and Helen Mirren in Shazam, Fury of the Gods.
She wasn't that bad.
Worst screen couple, any two merciless mercenaries in Expendables. Any two money-grubbing investors who donated the $400 million to remake for the remake rights to The Exorcist. Ana de Armas and Chris Evans, who flunked screen chemistry and Ghosted. Salma Hayek and Channing Tatum in Magic Mike's Last Dance. And Pooh and Piglet in Winnie the Pooh and Blood and Honey. Worst prequel, remake, ripoff, or sequel, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, The Exorcist Believer, Expendables, Indiana Jones and the Dial of, it says, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Still Beating a Dead Horse.
Wow.
And Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
I didn't see the Indiana Jones one. Did you guys see that?
I loved it.
I thought it was good. I didn't think it was great, but what I clearly didn't think was that it was as terrible as everyone was saying.
I really had a good time watching it.
Yep, I enjoyed it. The whole family watched it, and we liked it. It's a little bit long, I think, but it's. I think it was well done.
I want to watch it again.
Worst director went to Reese Frake Waterfield for Winnie the Pooh, David Gordon Green for The Exorcist, Peyton Reed for Ant-Man, Scott Waugh for Expendables, and Ben Wheatley for Meg 2, The Trench.
So it's become the thing is if you have a little sense of humor and you're a little self-deprecating, you show up and pick up the award.
Yep.
And so that's happened more often than not these days.
The winners for the 45th Annual Razzies will be announced on March 9th, the night before the Academy Awards.
Has there ever been a year where there were movies up for Academy Awards and Razzies at the same time? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so speaking of Oscars and awards and all that stuff, Norman Jewison, the acclaimed and versatile Canadian-born director whose Hollywood films ranged from Doris Day comedies and Moonstruck to such social dramas as the Oscar-winning In the Heat of the Night, has passed away. He was 97.
Great director.
A three-time Oscar nominee who in 1999 received an Academy Award for Lifetime Achievement, died peacefully on Saturday. Additional details were not immediately available. Throughout his long career, Jewison combined light entertainment with topical films that appealed to him on a deeply personal level. As Jewison was ending his military service in the Canadian Navy during World War II, he hitchhiked through the American South and had a close-up view of Jim Crow segregation. In his autobiography, he's called This Terrible Business Has Been Good to Me. He noted that racism and injustice became his most common themes. He said every time a film deals with racism, many Americans feel uncomfortable. Yet it has to be confronted. We have to deal with prejudice and injustice, or we will never understand what is good and evil, right and wrong. We need to feel how the other feels.
Did you ever see the original In the Heat of the Night?
No.
It's a masterpiece. It is sensational. Sidney Poitier is fantastic.
Well, he drew upon those experiences of his travel for In the Heat of the Night, and Rod Steiger was, of course, a white racist small-town sheriff. Sidney Poitier is a black detective from Philadelphia, trying to help solve a murder and eventually forming a working relationship with the hostile lawman. His production won the Academy Award for Best Picture, while Steiger took home Best Actor Oscar. He lost out for Best Director. Mike Nichols got that for The Graduate. That came out the same year, so you're talking about some big movies
Damn
at that
good
time.
movie, too, yeah.
He received 2 other Oscar nominations for Moonstruck and Fiddler on the Roof as well. But he did a lot of stuff, like the Thomas Crown Affair, the original one there. He directed Denzel Washington twice in A Soldier Story and The Hurricane as well. So a full body of work.
So within the Heat of the Night, it was originally kind of like a potboiler sort of novel. It got, decent write-ups. It wasn't received well. And then they took it as the basis for the movie and they reworked it and made it this incredibly, amazing thing. If you've never seen In the Heat of the Night, go see it.
Yeah, that's what I need to
watch it at home. It's not in the theater right now.
Yeah. Some other stories to pass along to you. This is weird. Jamie Dornan, the actor, 50 Shades of Grey.
Yes.
His friend, a guy named Gordon Smart, revealed recently that he and the actor were both hospitalized during a trip to Portugal last year after interacting with toxic caterpillars.
Toxic caterpillars?
Yeah. Smart said that one night he experienced tingling in my left hand, tingling in my left arm, which is normally the sign of the start of a heart attack. He was hospitalized after discovering that he had a heart rate of 210 BPM and learned that Dornan had also been hospitalized with the same symptoms. He said it turns out there are caterpillars on golf courses in the south of Portugal that have been killing people's dogs and giving men in their 40s heart attacks. He said it turns out that we brushed up against processionary caterpillars and have been very lucky to come out of that one alive.
I've heard of these caterpillars, but I didn't realize they were that toxic.
Yeah, apparently.
Killing dogs and causing heart attacks?
It can kill you.
You'd still golf, though, even if that was a threat, right?
Probably, if depending on the golf course, but what are we listening to?
Toxic.
Toxic caterpillars.
I'm a caterpillar, bitch.
All right, so that's a strange little story, but it apparently was very, very life-threatening to them. Shannon Doherty and her Beverly Hills 90210 co-star Jason Priestley spoke about her exit from the show on the latest episode of her podcast, Let's Be Clear. The actor admitted to showing up to work late and inconveniencing her co-stars. If you remember at that time, she was considered a
diva,
a problem on the set, and you were always hearing stories that she was causing issues. She said about that, I was in a horrible marriage, and there were things that were transpiring in that marriage that made it really hard for me to be on time for work. She said, and I know that that became a very big problem for the rest of you, as it should be. And she added that she wished that she had sat down and sort of looked at it and said, listen, the end result is going to be this. You're going to get fired. None of us are willing to put up with it anymore. And she said, and I understand that you have an issue in your personal life, but that also can't bleed into work, and you need to get your crap together. She explained she didn't think anybody knew that, quote, my father was super sick, and I don't think anybody knew that my husband was a massive drug addict, and it was all consuming for me.
So So they were looking at her and wondering why she was being that way, but she was dealing with a lot.
That's what she's saying, yeah. Priestley had told her he wished that she could have been more open about all of it. She said, I wish that all of us had more knowledge about what was happening in your life so that we could have dealt with your situation in a more compassionate way. But I'm sure they weren't having it.
No. But he's very candid. He said he one time slipped poisonous caterpillars in a bra.
Oh, my goodness.
Which is
her bra.
In her bra.
Wow. In an interview published on Monday, Will Ferrell and Harper Steele spoke with Variety about their new film. It's called Will and Harper. It's a documentary, and it follows the two friends who met while starring on Saturday Night Live together. And they're on a cross-country road trip to process this new stage of their relationship after Steele came out as transgender in 2022. The old school actor told the outlet that he had zero knowledge about the trans community before Steele. His close friend of 30 years came out to him as a trans woman. And he said, I had met trans people, but I didn't have anyone personally in my life. He said, so this was all new territory for me, which is why I think this film is so exciting for us to kind of put it out there in the world. And it's a chance for all of us in the cis community to be able to ask questions and also just to listen and be there as a friend to discuss this journey.
Wait, is this out now? Is it being released?
No, they are trying to get, they're looking for distribution. They're trying to get it into Sundance.
All right.
And so it's a project they're working right now.
All right.
Steele added, it tells the story of a cis friend of a trans person who has a transition himself. So I'm very interested in seeing that.
Did you guys know Harper Steele before this?
No, not
Me
familiar.
neither.
Yeah. I don't know what capacity they worked in SNL.
Okay.
Harper was a writer for us.
A writer?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder what the status is of the Adam McKay, Will Ferrell relationship.
Yeah, it's still frayed.
Still, oh man, that sucks.
Yeah.
Ever since the basketball show?
Yeah, I mean, which is a great show, and I understand, but I think also it was one of those things where like Adam McKay has sort of owned up to
He did.
what his mistakes were, but I don't think that Will has quite forgiven him yet.
Yeah.
We need to throw a party and invite both of them to
I
the
think we
party.
should.
Yeah.
I think we could
fix
bridge
that,
the
yeah.
gap here.
You know where we should throw that party?
In our cafeteria.
I was going to say
Yeah.
Catalina.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. The wine, yeah.
Yeah, for the effing mixer.
That was an
Yeah,
obvious.
mixer.
I don't know why I went with the cafeteria.
Well, no, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a nice cafeteria.
Speaking of cafeterias, we may want to try this out. Last week, Dua Lipa,
Yeah.
the singer, sat down to chat about her new single, Houdini, on BBC Radio 1. In between music chat, she shared her thoughts on chocolate ice cream. And with mixed reception, a pretty interesting topping preference. She said, I don't think chocolate ice cream is that good.
What?
But, well, she's not a fan. So she said, but you know what I love? She said, I get vanilla ice cream and I put olive oil on it and
Yeah.
sea salt.
A lot of people are doing this.
Wait, what is this?
This is
Trendy.
olive oil
Yeah.
and sea salt on
I've
ice
heard of
cream,
it.
and they're right.
No.
A lot of people are doing this now, or at least trying it.
I tried
I'd
it.
like to try it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay.
I tried it in an Italian restaurant, and it was just that. It was a vanilla ice cream with a little bit of dulce de leche in there.
So
And,
they were offering this on the menu this way?
They were, yes.
Ah.
It was the specialty dessert of the night. And,
Dua Lipa?
It was the Dua Lipa.
No, that olive oil taste on ice cream, no.
So this is not this isn't a weird Franken combination
Right.
that she came up with. This is a legit thing. I've heard of it before, too. I've never tried it. I've never been in a restaurant where they've served it before.
Looks like we're eating ice cream this week.
We have to try this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to try it this morning. If we could. Do we have interns today or no? Is Bobber John here?
Yeah.
He's driving here? He doesn't
Tell him
drive.
to
doesn't
stop and get
drive.
ice cream.
Okay. All right,
Can he
well, anyway.
divert the bus?
So anyhow, vanilla ice cream with a little olive oil and sea salt. I'm down to try it.
I don't immediately balk at that. Because a lot of times, a lot of people were reticent to have the sea salt as part of ice cream
or chocolate.
Chocolate.
And now it tastes wonderful.
Look
Now
at
look
it.
at us. I think we should try this out. So the comments are flooded with a wide range of opinions about the fact that Dua Lipa puts olive oil on her ice cream. And some people think it's gross. I admit that it sounds weird, but I'm open to trying it.
Sure.
Absolutely. It seems everyone is split between those that would never try it in a million years, like Kathy.
No, I just, that olive oil taste on ice cream. I'm okay with sea salt for sure, but I don't know.
Maybe.
And the ones who are puzzled by, but interested in trying, and the ones who are totally here for it. So
I would pay to watch Dua Lipa eat it.
I'd be all right
Yeah.
with that. She's an attractive young lady. And her Instagram cover photo is her licking a mirror.
Pretty hot, right?
So it looks
Is
like
that
she's
hot, Preston?
tongue kissing
Oh
herself.
my God, yeah.
Yeah, that's hot, Reach.
I love it, man. Tell you what, that's one hot little bit. You know what I'm saying?
You want to go take care of yourself here
I was
real
gonna
quick?
say something filthy, but I really can't. And especially in heaven when God's watching.
Oh,
Come here. That's Al Pacino.
All right, let's see. A couple other things to mention. This is sweet. Rainn Wilson, who played Dwight on The Office, shared a photo of a handwritten note that he received from a flight attendant recently. He said the note that he said, "The Office got me through some of the darkest days of my life. I can't thank you enough for that. Sincerely, Melanie, Alaska flight attendant." And he said, I didn't even see who dropped this on my lap at the PDX airport, but I greatly appreciate the sentiment. Flight attendant Melanie of Alaska Airlines. He said, so humbled to be a part of a show that affected, touched, comforted, and inspired.
And then she blew out the door on the plane in mid-flight.
It was that plane?
It was that plane.
Well, I didn't want to.
Yeah. I mean, that's the down part of the story.
It's such a nice story.
She was embarrassed
really.
about the note. She's like, I got to get out of here.
Yeah. I'm so embarrassed. What's the best way to get out of here in mid-flight? Oh, the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Come on! I know exactly what she's talking about during, when I had the prostate cancer. Modern Family was really and mind you, I did not have a horrific battle with cancer. And thankfully, thanks to Dr. Mike and everything, caught it early, and it's very beatable. But still, in those times when you're sitting there,
dude, you didn't have a horrific battle, but that scared the hell out of you.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah.
you needed a distraction or something for a little while.
Yeah, and
to give you, something else to focus on.
exactly. And I got to tell Ty Burrell, about how much I love that show, and he seemed definitely touched.
Yeah.
I think his exact words were, "I don't care."
You know what? That's great, but I don't care.
Yeah.
All right, a couple other quick things. Michelle Trachtenberg, who played Dawn on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, shared a message on Instagram recently for those who commented that she looked sick in a recent photo. Yeah.
Dear Michelle Trachtenberg, I work in sales in a Philadelphia radio station. You don't know me, but I think you look sick.
Signed.
Matt Cowper.
Yes.
I loved your work on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Perhaps one time we can play catch.
She said, explain to me how I look sick. She wrote in the comment section. Did you lose a calendar and not realize that I'm not 14, I'm 38? How sad for you to leave such a comment. And she also shared a selfie on Saturday, writing in the caption, fun fact, this is my face. Not malnutrition, no problems. Why do you have to hate? Get a calendar.
So she does. So she's talked about she has a little bit of thinning hair, which she is in the process of correcting and tending to. And you can. It used to be very few options for people going through this. So, yeah, I always thought she was really attractive.
I do too, Steve. It's weird, though. It's like if you just haven't seen somebody for a long period of time. Like, I thought she was in Eurotrip, and she was a knockout in that movie. I haven't really paid attention to Michelle Trachtenberg's career since then. So this is, quite honestly, probably the first time I've even looked at a picture of her in 10 years or so. It's just different. It's like when you see Bridget Fonda, and you haven't seen her in 20 years, or even George Wendt. We talked about that last week.
How he's looking older.
He looks older. And like, if you just go a long period of time without seeing somebody, they might look different.
I would say that I would not have recognized her as Michelle Trachtenberg
I agree.
with the current photo.
Yeah.
All right, one last thing.
You look sick.
This is good news, happy news. Michael Phelps has welcomed his fourth child with his wife, Nicole Phelps. The former professional swimmer took to Instagram to share the happy news in a post that included a sweet photo of him holding the newborn wrapped in a blanket while his spouse lovingly looked on. He was shirtless.
Yeah.
And had his hair pulled up into a bun, and she wore a denim blue button-down top.
He looks like he was built in a lab for swimming.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's lanky.
Yep.
The muscle structure, everything.
Yeah. The post said, I want to welcome Nico Michael Phelps to the world. Born
Snooky Phelps.
1/16. We are so blessed to be given a fourth child, and we are now a family of 6.
6.
Michael and Nicole.
Dear Michael Phelps, congratulations on the birth of your 6th child. My name is Matt, and I work in sales at a Philadelphia radio station. Do you know Michelle Trachtenberg? Have you seen photos of her recently? Just asking.
She looks
sick.
So listen to they have 3 other sons. So Nico joins Boomer, Beckett, and Maverick.
There you go.
They're creating their own squad over there.
Yeah. Come on,
their own
everybody.
flight squadron.
To your mini planes.
Yeah, Boomer, Beckett.
He can be my wingman anytime.
Yeah. Nico, Boomer, Beckett, and Maverick. Michael, who is the most successful and most decorated Olympian of all time, with a total of 28 medals.
He can be my wingman anytime. No,
And-
excuse me, I have to clean my diaper.
And Nicole is a former Miss California USA.
Of course.
They have loved sharing adorable photos of their boys on social media since they started their family. They were secretly married in 2016 and recently posted for a smiling photo that showed off Nicole's baby bump at an NFL game. So they now have baby number 4.
I remember I was down at the aquarium, down in Baltimore when that area was really nice. And apparently, it's fallen into disarray. But across the harbor there was his apartment. It was a penthouse, apartment. It was a suite. And in Preston, it was like 2 or 3 floors on the top of this building. It was amazing. Yeah.
Wow. All right. We are ready to roll the clips, I believe. Yep. All right. In Sometimes I Think About Dying, we meet a socially awkward office worker who spends most of her time in isolation and daydreams of her own death until a new colleague brings her out of her bubble. And here, Daisy Ridley reveals the passion director Rachel Lambert brought to the set.
The tiny victory of someone establishing some sort of connection, which is the most difficult thing for them, was always beautiful. And Rachel really let everybody live their best, beautiful lives on film.
Shut the f*** up!
Sometimes I Think About Dying hits theaters this Friday.
Seems like a real party movie.
Yeah. Here's our next clip. NCIS Sydney is the first international franchise of the series that is based on a Department of the U.S. Navy. And in this clip, Olivia Swan, who plays Special Agent in Charge Michelle Mackey, explains the crossover. Here we go.
The first episode opens on a ceremony that's honoring the AUKUS deal, which is with Australia and the US. And a US naval submariner dies at the ceremony, which is Australian water, but he's a US submariner. So whose jurisdiction is it? And then enter NCIS AFP clash.
Stop looking at me, Swan.
NCIS Sydney season airs tonight on CBS.
For that.
Yeah, we were coordinating behind the
Olivia
scenes.
Swan.
Yeah.
So
Stop
there you
looking at me, Swan.
Very good.
Little goo to you. All right, that is what we have in entertainment report this morning. So, should I reveal this this Flyers thing?
Only
Do
if
it.
you want.
I think we should do this now.
Okay.
All right. So, because we're gonna get this started today, we have a chance for you to do something really cool at the Friday night at the Wells Fargo Center. It is the alumni game. We're going to have tickets to give away to the game. Don't call right now. I'm going to tell you what you need to do. But we'll have a chance for you to win tickets, and something a little exclusive comes along with this. All right. So if you win this, you will be, where does it say here? Aren't they meeting up with this person?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we're going to have tickets to the game to give away Thursday morning. But to get in the running, you have to enter at WMMR.com ahead of time, and you'll have a chance to meet the person that's helping us out. I know. I'll get to the details here.
Yes.
It's called I Can't Believe Eric Lindros is Calling My Phone.
I never thought Eric Lindros would be calling my phone. Phone.
So here's what you have to do. You got to go to WMMR.com ahead of time, and you have to get entered for this. You have to include your phone number because on Thursday, we are going to have Eric live on with us on the air, and we are going to pick a phone number at random, and we are going to call it.
I never thought Eric Lindros would be calling my phone.
So when Eric answers the phone, or when you answer the phone, we're going to be calling you with Eric on the line. When we call you, now the phrase that Casey says is, I can't believe Eric Lindros is calling my phone. Or no, he says,
I never thought Eric Lindros would be calling my phone.
I never thought Eric Lindros would be calling my phone. Do we want him to say that?
Yes, we should be accurate to the quote.
That's what we want you to say. It has to be the first thing out of your mouth. Yeah. All right?
When the phone rings, you pick it up and answer that.
I never thought Eric Lindros would be calling my phone.
And if you do that, then you will win tickets to the game, and you'll have a chance to meet up with Eric before the game as well. I need those details. This isn't written out properly here, Nick.
Where are those pictures I asked for?
Yeah, and where? So I
never thought Eric Lindros would be calling my phone.
That's what you need to say. So if you go to WMMR.com, is this set up and running and ready to go? Marissa's getting it ready to run as we speak. So you will be able to enter your phone number, and you have to answer it. I never thought Eric Lindros would be calling my phone. And if you do that correctly, if you say hello or hi guys, or anything like that, before you say the phrase, you do not win. You have to say that cold right at the top when you answer the phone.
Tickets to the game, Eric Lindros. It's pretty awesome.
Yep. So one more time, Case.
I never thought Eric Lindros would be calling my phone.
All right.
Phone.
WMMR.com to enter that, and Marissa will have that up and running in just a moment. We are going to take a break. We have daylight. We've got a Tuesday morning. We have some stuff to give away. We'll take a break. Oh, we have live music in the studio. Sleep Theory.
Yes.
We'll be here in advance of their show tonight at Franklin Music Hall. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
93.3 WMMR.
So we just made an announcement about a promotion that's coming up. Our friend Eric Lindros is going to be joining us on Thursday to talk about the Flyers alumni game, and we're going to be giving away, we're calling this 2 VIP experiences for the game. We're hoping you're going to get to meet with Eric. I'm told that hasn't been fully verified yet.
It'd be nice.
I want to be clear on this.
Straight up and honest.
I said that earlier, and that's what I was told, but we'll see. But you get a VIP experience. And here's what you need to do. You got to enter at WMMR.com. You have to enter your phone number because Thursday morning when we have Eric on, we are going to call in the 7 o'clock hour your number. And when you pick up the phone, the first thing out of your mouth has to be, I never thought Eric Lindros would be calling my phone. And if you want to say phone multiple times.
I never thought Eric Lindros would be calling my phone. Phone.
You can do that.
Sure.
If you want to.
Sell it.
Yeah. Tickets for the Flyers alumni game are on sale now at FlyersCharities.com. Proceeds benefit Flyers Charities and Flyers Alumni Association, but you should enter for that right now if you will. Please do. All right. Article Steve sent me. Found this kind of interesting. And it is for ladies that are tired of the clean look. So the clean look is what? No makeup?
It is. So it is less makeup. It is moisturizers. It's skincare products. It's hair usually pulled back, right?
Listen, you spend just as much time getting ready to make yourself look like you didn't try.
Right.
That's what the clean look is?
That's exactly what it is. It's still makeup,
but it's streamlined
It's
look.
colors so that it's not like eyeshadows that are dark and you're like, look at me, I'm going out. It makes it look like it's just not even really there. But there's still makeup, there's still time that goes into it.
So I saw
that has to be done.
Preston, like billions of views on TikTok about this trend, the clean girl aesthetic, and apparently people are and young women specifically are buying like anti-aging moisturizer. Is that right, Kathy? Like things that are like lotions and things that are you would normally.
There's like a bit there. I feel like it's a little more now than it ever has been. But yeah, like a lot of like just the fine lines, the wrinkles, the dark circles under your eyes, and it is, I think, all part of like these TikTokers who are trying to show you these little tricks to help with
because you don't want to look 17 when you're 16.
When you're 16.
Yeah. So that's the thing. I have a 14-year-old daughter who she's got a nighttime routine, like with the, and she does all of this stuff. Now, she doesn't go crazy with makeup or anything like that, not on like regular school days or whatever. But, I mean, she's doing all of this moisturizing and
the masks, right? They love the masks.
And that's the clean girl thing, right? That's the aesthetic.
Maybe,
I don't know.
Maybe
I don't
it's
know,
part of it. I just know it as like the clean girl look is this makeup trend that makes it look like you're not wearing tons of makeup, like heavy lipstick, heavy eyeshadow,
lighter
stuff
colors,
like
more natural hues.
Yeah,
I actually.
But Steve, it probably what Casey's talking about, like her routine and stuff like that. That's all part of it.
Yeah, but I actually thought for the longest time that you didn't wear makeup in the morning. This is like before we were on YouTube and stuff, and now
that's my clean girl look.
That's Kathy's clean girl look.
Well, no. Now your makeup is a little bit more.
Slutty?
No, because I don't want this to sound like it's a knock or anything like that. It's a little bit more pronounced, but like back in the day, it was way more natural.
Well,
and
probably before YouTube, maybe I didn't wear as much makeup.
No, because I'd said something. I'm like, and you're like, no, I wear makeup, and I'm like, it looks like you don't.
Like so
natural. And
I'll tell you what I'm following is this woman on TikTok. I found her. She came up in my feed. She's amazing. I love her so much. It's makeup for women over 40, and she has these little tricks for you. And Casey, if you've seen a difference, in the past couple of years or whatever, I mean, I definitely do some of the stuff that she says, and it's helped because as we age, there's little like your eyelids start to droop a little bit, and she has all these makeup tricks, and I love it.
What's her name?
Her name, I think, is Erica Taylor. Let me confirm that.
Do you follow Iron Mom 40 by any chance?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Who's that?
Well, now in answer to this clean look, apparently is the other end of it is starting to surface, and it's called the mob wife look.
Oh.
But it's not the answer. It's just another trend, Preston.
Well, I know, but I mean, it's diametrically opposed to it. I mean, so it's an explosion of animal prints, black leather, and all gold everything.
So you look like one of the Sopranos.
Yeah.
It's basically it.
Yeah,
it's just the 90s trend wrapping back around.
Okay. That was a 90s trend?
Yeah, don't you remember like the leather pants,
I
the
don't
big
pay attention to these
the
things.
big fur coats, like I remember mine and my parents and my aunts and everybody saying stuff to me, but the lined lips, like the lipstick,
Oh my God,
was the line, and then on the inside was like a frosted color, and I still remember to this day they would always be like, oh, you're still doing that like line thing on the lips.
It's interesting they call this the mob wife look. I would call this the casino prostitute.
Yeah. So you remember like in Goodfellas when she goes to the party and all the women look exactly the same, same sort of teased hair and same sort of makeup and zit cream and all that stuff. But yeah, so that again, the mob wife aesthetic is replacing the. What kills me with this press is I'm looking at these articles popping up and I'm like, oh yeah, I had noticed subtly that people on social media and influencers were looking different, and maybe it didn't register until these articles started to.
Yeah, you're not looking going, oh wow, she looks
yeah.
like a mob wife. They just labeled it that.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's not. Steve is saying said this is replacing the clean girl look. You're saying it's just
I mean,
other people are doing it.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think it's the new trend. Sure. So all these people who were wearing, light makeup and light colors are now going to move with the trend. It's what everybody does. And yeah, it'll be like darker eyeshadows, darker lips. You'll see like red nail polish. And
do you like that look in general, Preston?
Like it depends on the right person, maybe on the right person. But I mean, yes and no. Let's put it that way. I like all kinds of different looks. You know.
Let me ask you, how beholding? And I think I know the answer. How beholding were you to trends? Because now something like this takes off, and it is like global. Trends when we were younger.
Oh, in like my 20s and
right.
stuff?
How susceptible.
I would absolutely try for sure.
Right.
Most definitely. I mean, I have terrible fashion sense. It's horrible. And so I would see other people wearing things and them becoming popular, and I'd be like, I need to try that, and most of the times it didn't work.
I do think of like a few things like that lined lip that I did, and like French manicure on my nails. That was like, I mean, that's all you got was the French manicure.
When did that kick in?
The French manicure?
Yeah, when did you start doing those?
Oh, I think I was probably high school and then all through college.
Are they out, French manicures?
Well, no, now with this trend, that's what's coming back. It's all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so Steve, I'm thinking back at different trends that I got on board for. So like, there was when I was younger, when I was in high school, there was like a new wave type of thing that came in.
Yeah, I never adopted that look.
I tried that out for a little while. There was obviously in the 90s grunge hit, and everybody was wearing flannel and
I went a little
things
bit
like
there.
that.
Yeah.
I
Did you go neon at all?
Absolutely.
There's a cool neon thing. I remember.
Sure.
Oh man, I was down in Ocean City, and they had these badass. It was a full-on ensemble neon, like a windbreaker with these
I love
parachute
them.
like neon pants. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know what you're talking about. There is, and I know the video is there, and I just have to find it. I really want you guys to see it. I had on neon biker shorts. I think I wore pink, and my cousin wore the green, and then Casey, we had that jacket, that like
what I'm. Ocean
like
City,
like
boardwalk,
half zip jacket, but it was Debbie Gibson's Electric Youth, and my cousin and I did a talent show and wore those outfits, and it was amazing.
There was a summer when I dressed like MC Hammer.
You did the MC Hammer thing?
Forget that.
With the big baggy pants and the whole thing?
Those were too
They were
expensive.
gold.
I know, man.
I loved those, and I couldn't. Those, and then they had the Z Cavaricis. Get this. Back then, they cost $50, and I was like, I cannot afford a pair of Z Cavaricis, so I never got them. Maybe I should.
So I go back. I remember when the Vidal Sassoon jeans and all that stuff became the thing, and then there was a disco attachment. And then there was that sort of garb. I was never buying into a lot of the trends. I kind of always looked like a serial killer, and that was my MO. But but I knew people who based everything on following the trend. But the thing is, like, the trend would be you'd see your friends at school. You wouldn't.
That's the thing.
It wouldn't be
to
hopping
Catholic
up on
school.
your phone instantly.
I went to
were
Catholic
you guys
school.
behind?
I
Dave?
was so behind. My fashion muse was my neighbor Mike. Right, he was a public, and so whatever he would wear, I'm like, oh, bugle boy pants. Okay, I'll ask Santa Claus for bugle boy pants.
Santa Claus.
Yeah.
For me, Casey, it was it was a stovetop hat and a waistcoat. I had a riding crop and a monocle, and then a little snuff box.
But
at my time, that's what was happening.
I didn't have any reason for fashion until I remember my freshman year, Z Cavaricci's were big, and then the freshman year dance in the spring. It was neon. So, Nick, you and I are same age. That was Umbro shorts.
Oh, hell yeah.
Umbro shorts.
Umbro shorts was...
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
OP.
Yeah.
That was hot for a little while.
Yep.
I had. Did you ever have I had the moment where I bought. Had to be a top level leather jacket. It was $25.
Wilson's? Did you get it from Wilson's?
What would happen is no.
I had one
a
from
guy
Wilson's.
brought it was going to college. The guy pulls up and in his trunk.
Stop it.
In his trunk.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like right at, and the guy's name is Vinny. I'm not saying.
Did they fall off a truck, Steve?
Yeah, they must have fallen
Off the
in the
Wilson's
trunk.
truck.
Nick,
Yeah.
about 50 leather jackets. You want one? $25.
That's a pretty good deal.
So I put it on, and I'm like, oh yeah, and I'm walking around, and within about 10 minutes, hey, Monero. And I'm like, I feel like such a jackass.
Nick, I remember getting my first Wilson's jacket. It was like a big deal. We went to the Oxford Valley Mall and, spent it was expensive because it was real leather. I just got rid of that
No.
jacket.
No kidding. Why?
You know what?
Time to throw it away?
I got rid of so much stuff and I was keeping it for so long. I'm like, what am I keeping this for? Like,
Right.
it doesn't fit. I'm not going to wear it anymore. So I did get rid of but literally 2 months ago, maybe.
There is a palpable smell in my nose of walking into Wilson's. So
I love that smell.
But Preston, I want to bring up this text because have we talked about young girl mobs going to Sephora on the show?
No.
All right.
So by the way, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about the mob wife aesthetic, which reading this real quick, and then I'll read this text. It says, the winter trend got its start last October when TikTok user and self-described mob wife CEO Sarah Arcuri posted a video on the basics of the aesthetic. In short, black leather, vintage fur, messy updo, gold jewelry, designer bag. But it really started taking off in the first week of 2024 when TikToker Michaela Toninato homed in on the glamorous, messy appeal of teased hair, smoky makeup, and the bigger, the better outfits. And this text says that there are two things surrounding this topic now. The drama right now on TikTok is with young girls going to Sephora and buying this brand called Drunk Elephant.
Oh, yes.
What?
Yes.
Because its branding has bright colors, but those products have anti-aging things that are way too strong for preteens and teens. And now, yes, Mob Wife is trending, a replacement of clean girl aesthetic, kind of as a joke, but everyone is actually doing it.
All right, so I wanted to address the Sephora thing because I had to go with my fiance to Sephora in Suburban Square. We were returning something, she was returning something, and I was in there. And Steve, when we walked in, you know what it's like for a man to walk into Sephora. You kind of just hang
Might
near
as well
the
be on another
entrance.
planet. Yeah.
Well, you just want to be near the exit or the entrance, right? And so I sat there and waited, and I'm not exaggerating. There were, 20 to 25 teenage girls that walked in while we were there. And apparently this is happening at every Sephora around the country. It happens in the King of Prussia Mall all the time, and it happens in that Sephora in Suburban Square all the time. So these mobs of teenage girls come in and are running amok in the place. And
Really?
Well, is it? But okay. So because my good friend and takes her kids there, and they just go as like a whole, like it's almost like we used to go to the mall and meet up with our friends and like hang out. I think that's just what they're doing at Sephora.
Yeah, but it's lots of girls all at once. It's packs. It's herds of girls.
And so, what are they? Are they shoplifting? Are they just having?
no,
are they just?
Nope,
they
they're
go
just
in and
taking
shop.
over. Yeah.
Just take over.
And it's like 13, 14, 15-year-old girls, but they are large packs of women, of young women doing this.
Did they
all at the
spot
same
you?
time.
Did you try to hide in case they would spot you?
Well, it was one of those things where I'm like, you know what? I really, I kind of want to be out of here. And I don't feel like staying in this place anymore.
He's hiding in the bush.
That drunk elephant, though, I don't think it's cheap. And they're buying like tons of it. My friend's daughter, she has a little vanity in her room, and we were looking at it, and I'm like, I can't believe you buy all this for her.
Correct me if I'm wrong. This is so that attention to lotions and masks and all that stuff. This is a newer thing, right? I mean, it was always like you had your little thing, your whatever vanity, or I don't know. I wasn't a little girl, but the truth of the matter is that there was some of that there, but now they're really buying expensive stuff. Right?
I mean, I feel like I remember. I mean, me as a kid, I had my routine. I had stuff there, but nothing like it is now. And I think it's just access to it, and they know, and they see what the older, teens are doing, and they want the same thing. So
I want to look like Lorraine Bracco.
Yeah, it's funny because the girls in my high school weren't allowed to wear makeup. So if you did, it would have to be very, very subtle.
Okay.
Stuff. Yeah. And now it's so. I mean, I was when I was growing up. I guess I was like shielded from all of that stuff.
All that, yeah.
Here's a text from somebody who says, I went to Kohl's this weekend with my daughter, and there was a Sephora in the store. She refused to go in without me because she was afraid she was going to get in trouble for being a part of a flash mob in Sephora.
Wow.
Or something like that. I also got this text from a guy. Yeah, here. I don't know if it's a guy or not, but they said, hey, guys, I was at a restaurant last night, a group of people, young adult/teenager age, and one dude was wearing ski goggles on his head and off to the side. Apparently, that's a thing.
Oh, cool.
He's saying, I don't know. Is it?
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
So,
ski goggles.
Also, just because you see somebody wearing it doesn't make it a thing.
Yeah.
If you see multiple people in multiple different places, okay.
It's starting to look like a thing.
Right.
Here's a text says they are absolutely abusing the samples at Sephora.
Oh,
and leaving the stores a mess. The employees can't keep up. It's a shame.
Do they still have like open samples like at cosmetic places, Kathy? Like where you can.
Oh yeah, sure.
Well, isn't that like a disease pit?
I mean, it's always been like that. I think we had. Remember the woman sued Ulta or one of those places.
Like pink eye or something?
No, I think she got herpes and from one, I guess, testing something, and she tried to sue them. I don't know whatever happened.
That's what I claim.
She was looking for Hermes and ended up with herpes.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
By the way, I found this article that says ski goggles. People are wearing them as fashion.
Oh yeah. So here's George, who saw the guy last night. Hi, George. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, so yeah, we just read your text about the goggles.
I can't make it up. I mean, of all places, I'm in Applebee's, and it was just, wearing on the head as an aesthetic, cocked off to the side, and I was amazed.
George, what town were you in?
Southampton.
So not
Let's go,
even near a ski resort. Like maybe if it was like no.
Yeah, it was near Spring Mountain. There's a restaurant nearby there. You still had them on your head.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
No, Applebee's in Southampton.
Applebee's in Southampton. There it is. Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it, man. What if like a trend became those novelty gigantic sunglasses?
Yeah.
I mean, like the really
Yes.
big ones. Wouldn't that be great?
That would be awesome.
The thing is, they try to force these sometimes, and it won't take.
Yeah.
I would love to see that happen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, was it? It was Back to the Future too, where the trend was you had to pull your pant pocket inside out, right?
Yes. Pull your
inside out.
pants, the pockets of your jeans inside out. You know what? You have to give it to is people who don't let go of a look. And I'm talking about Jackie Bam Bam.
Mm-hmm.
Just the dude has found his zone. He stays in it. He goes all in on it.
All in.
And does not deviate from it, even though that look went away a long time ago.
Because he knows in his heart, and he's probably right, it will come back.
And it's true to himself.
It's true to him.
You know?
Yeah.
So, and he proudly, and people love it. I love it. You don't see people dressed like that all
because
the time.
it's authentic. I mean, there's nothing disingenuous about it. You know, and I walked into the Rainbow with him in L.A.
He took off his ski goggles.
I was the one wearing ski goggles. But no, I mean, and I was the one who stuck out there.
Right.
Because, and it was all of those people that's their lifestyle. That is their look.
My cousin had a pair of jeans from the 80s. He never let them go. He wore them. They basically were nothing. Like there was not much denim. The entire front from like his thigh all the way down was ripped and open. And you remember a short time ago that look.
That was the look.
Where there was almost no denim to what you were wearing. And he was like, "Look, I'm back in style."
I dug that look for a while when it was on the right person, when somebody's attractive. Yeah, that was a nice look.
You know what's wild is I mean, we've been together for a couple of decades now, and styles change and trends change, but like I feel like all of us haven't strayed from our
it's because I've owned these jeans for 20 years.
Dude, you can't go wrong with that.
Well, no matter what the trend is, you still have your own personal style, and whether you adopt that trend or not is who you are.
I phase in and out of things a little bit here and there. Like lately, I've been wearing less, what you call graphic tees. Like I'm wearing right now, it says Cape May on it, and I've been going for more,
Ed Hardy,
patterns or just straight colors.
Solid, yeah.
And I've been kind of, but I flow in and out of that stuff, So
sometimes I'll get a burst of, I think I'm going to try to adopt some better clothing.
Yeah.
And then you
I'm going
wake
to
up
dress like an adult for a little while.
And then you wake up at 3:30 and you go, maybe not.
Time to put sweatpants on.
God, that Ed Hardy trend came and went
Oh
so
my God!
quickly.
And who was the main?
John
Gosling.
Uh-huh.
John Gosling.
I see one every now and then pop up. The fake tattoo looking sleeve shirts
There's
and stuff
a
like
freaking
that.
picture of me in the hallways here wearing one.
Really? Really? We need to take a picture of that. I need to see that. Hang on, I want to go to Joe talking about the drunk elephant stuff. Hi, Joe. Good morning.
I'm actively crying in my van right now.
Why?
I totally out of coincidence. I took my daughter to the doctor's yesterday for just a well visit or whatever. She needed one for school.
Uh-huh.
The doctor looked at her and told her, "Stop using what you're using for your face and your creams or whatever." And this Christmas, I just went out and bought a couple $100 worth of Drunk Elephant and Bubble. I think it's called Bubble. I'm not sure. Bubble.
Right.
The other. And that's what the doctor told her to stop using that stuff. So now I got a.
Sell it on Marketplace. You'll get a good penny for it.
So it's already used.
I have used cosmetics.
Yeah. And toilet paper, slightly distressed.
Are you
But
kidding?
Joe,
People would buy it.
Why what was the doctor's concern about the products she was using?
Because, it's just totally out of the blue. She looked at my daughter's, looking at her face, looking at her, checking her tongue, the whole thing the doctor's doing. I guess she saw her skin, and, she said that Drunk Elephant blocks pores. It's not good for your skin.
Huh.
She started saying some medical
jargon,
garbage, with the chemicals that are in it, that they shouldn't be good. Like you guys just said, hit the nail on the head. That's why I'm crying, because I cried last night. Some chemicals are in the creamers, or the face cleanser and the creamers that she's using, that she shouldn't be using at that age.
So it's going to clog up her pores. It's going to F it up.
Hey, Joe, by the way, Mercy just handed this to me and said that Sephora actually has some really killer return policies. So it says if you're not completely satisfied with a Sephora purchase or gift for any reason, they welcome you to return new or gently used products for a full refund. So if you do want to go that route of not using that drunk elephant anymore, it looks like they'll take it back.
Joe, when you do that, when you go to Sephora, do me a favor. Dress like a mobster when you go in. Like my daughter.
I'm going to wear the makeup.
Yeah.
Thanks, Joe.
Hey, my daughter has this and it's screwing up her face.
I just got an email from my friend Dave, and he says somehow a total of $1,400 in charges from Sephora for his 13-year-old daughter showed up. Yeah, there were six Sephora deliveries to the door Saturday morning.
$1,400. $100.
But it's for her. No,
High five from Kathy.
You go, girl.
tell her to send me what she got.
But Steve, you know that, like, especially among teenage girls, like the peer pressure that they
Is
feel,
extraordinary.
You know, and so I'm sure that she just found Dave's credit card and racked it up and made those deliveries happen.
Nick, for the entire month in high school, I went every day with leggings and that flash dance look
Of
off my
course.
shoulder. Yeah,
but you were hot.
I was hot. I was a maniac.
Want to go to Samantha? Hi, Samantha.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Great. What's up?
So I, too, am like Casey, 12 years of Catholic school in Delco, and had no idea of any style until I was much older. But now I have 2 stepdaughters, and I have 2 nieces that are all in elementary school, and they're better at makeup than I am.
Wow.
The self-care, the skin, the masks, all of it.
Well,
all of it. They're,
with social media, you know, whatever your thoughts are on that, because you know there's good and bad.
Yeah.
At least you are. There is a tutorial now on how to learn how to do these things. When before someone had to show you in the real world, or you had to take some kind of a class or something like that.
Do you know the issue with that though, Samantha, is what happens is that these companies, I guess they make this elephant product or whatever, will hire influencers to make sure that they're out. I don't want to say suckering, but convincing these women to young ladies to generate $1,400 worth of purchases.
And what's great about this now, though, is the reality of you can pick who you follow for your influencing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So like so Kath, I had mentioned to you Iron Mom 40. That's a woman that my wife started following her first on Instagram, and then I ended up following her. But she is a I think they call them mid-size now. It's not like plus size, but mid-size. But you know,
like human.
Yeah, like she's an actual human
Looks
being.
like a human being.
And this is what clothes look like on an actual human being. And you can follow this stuff. And I forget where I was going with this, but
So you follow her too?
I just think she's cute.
So I follow.
You just think she's cute.
Yeah,
Okay.
she like a cute. I follow Lauer Flower.
Lauer Flower.
He has all sorts of male
God, he should have
makeup
that.
routines. Lauer Flower 12.
Wow.
And he talks you how to get your jam working.
Okay.
Are you missing your jam?
Ladies, here's what you can do to get your jam working.
Yeah.
I love when laser beans roll over in a daisy chain.
Wow.
The daisy is a kind of a flower.
Absolutely, Nick.
So the mob wife look apparently unites several what they call micro trends, taking leopard print, faux fur coats, statement tights. Statement tights.
There's so much. There's so much you have to be aware of to be a kid these days.
Chunky gold jewelry, and then puts them all together.
So look at there's a picture of Big Ange up in the kind of call it up. That's a mob wife, right?
Yeah, or a bimbo. Yeah, one or the other. I mean, you know, I guess it's.
I'm in 4th grade.
It's a bimbo look.
But
I
that's it.
think.
That look, the fur coat, the leather pants, the big designer bag again, because there was a trend where people were kind of like shying away from the designer expensive bags and, you know, saying, oh, you could carry a bag that's just as nice and I got it at Target or, you know, Forever 21.
And now it's back to the other way.
The big old
Quick
bags.
question with this. So what about the fur element? Are they
Yeah.
it's all faux, or are they actually embracing real fur?
Oh, no, I'm sure it's
Okay.
all faux fur, yeah. I mean, it's not like even, because you can look at places like Target. Once Target has it, you're like, okay, this is what the
It's
trend.
official.
Yeah, they've got fur coats in there this season.
This would be like the Visco girl thing. It'd be like the same sort of, right, on some level. These are all accessories and fashion things, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it's all part of a, you know, it's not just one thing, it's multiple components to it, and you put it together, and then you have a look. So, by the way, bimbo is one of my all-time favorite words.
Great.
I was just happy to use that. All right, well, anyhow, was not aware this is going on. So, you know, if you see somebody who's dressed like this, not necessarily are they a mob wife. They're just cultivating a look, apparently.
And I would recommend that Sephora put in blinds, like deer blinds for fathers and other people who don't know what to do when they're in Sephora.
All right. Did you want to add something, Case? You were
No.
All right.
I love you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I love you, too. And I'll prove that love by giving you some bizarre file stories here in just a moment, because we're going to take a break. We're going to come back in a second or two. A little later on this morning, we will have live music from Sleep Theory here in our studio. They're performing at Franklin Music Hall tonight with Beartooth. So they're going to pop in the 9 o'clock hour and play live, which is a pretty sweet deal. We'll come back in a moment. Stay with us.
On 93.3 WMMR.
All right, thanks, Kath. If you missed it, we just had Todd Fedoruk, who was in our studio yesterday.
A little dipsy-doo.
He gave us a little dipsy-doo. He was talking about the Flyers alumni game coming up on Friday. So we have these 2 VIP experiences for the game for you to win. But to be in the running for them, you have to enter ahead of time at PrestonandSteve.com. So here's why you have to do that, because on Thursday, we're going to have the legendary Eric Lindros on with us, and we are going to pick somebody's number at random and call them with Eric. And you have to answer your phone, and the first thing out of your mouth has to be this.
I never thought Eric Lindros would be calling my phone.
If you say anything else, you do not win. But if you say that upon the phone call, you get the VIP experience.
We're going to be hard asses about this.
You have 2 VIP experiences to give away to the game. So go to PrestonandSteve.com, and you can now enter to win that, and we'll do that on Thursday morning.
Looking forward to it.
Hey, real quick, before we do the Bizarre File, I wanted to read this. It's a shout out, and it says, "Hey, Preston, Steve, and the gang, I'd like to request a very late shout out for me and my wonderful fiance, Sabina, who I asked to marry me on December 16th this past year. And it wasn't where or when I'd planned it, but the night it happened, we were laughing along to your show. I assume they were listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
And he says, we were having a few glasses of wine and decorating our Christmas tree, and the moment was just too perfect, so I asked her right then and there.
Oh.
So thanks for being there with us, he said, and please continue raging on. And he sent some pictures. He's a lucky guy. She's a stunningly beautiful young lady.
Really?
He's a good-looking fella, too. Yeah, so the 2 of us, he said, will be laughing along with you for years to come. Cheers, Gadzooks, and all the love. So that is from Matt and Sabina. Matt Reichert is his name. So here's a shout out. Congratulations, guys.
Yeah.
Glad we were there.
I bet you they were pitching woo by the evening end.
Little woo pitching.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to do Bizarre File stories. Here we go.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, I got you some stories. We'll start with this. Listen to this. A Sacramento woman was arrested after she allegedly stole thousands of dollars worth of Stanley Cups from a retail store.
Come on, man. Come on with these friggin' things.
Officers responded to a retail store for a theft incident. Staff reportedly saw a woman taking a shopping cart full of Stanley water bottles without paying for them. They said the suspect refused to stop for the store employees and stuffed her car with the stolen merchandise.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
She was subsequently pulled over. Good one, Case. Yeah. A search of her vehicle led to the discovery of 65 Stanley products valued at nearly $2,500.
These things are big, so yeah. How are you getting them out of he had to go back again, I assume, right?
I guess. I believe she stole them from a Target. The 23-year-old Sacramento woman was arrested under suspicion of grand theft.
65. Stanley.
Yeah. She's not happy at all.
Mrs. Roper's pissed.
Yeah. All right, a Florida man found a phone in the bathroom of a Walmart and decided to call in a bomb threat with it. Why not?
Okay.
The sheriff's office received a call Friday from a man who said that there was a bomb at the local Walmart. The man hung up.
Where are you?
But he answered. Listen, the man hung up and answered when cops called him back, and then he said, tick-tock, tick-tock, before hanging it up again. Deputies searched the store. They talked to the owner of the phone who said that he had left it in the bathroom and saw 911 calling him on his Bluetooth watch that's connected to the phone. He then pinged his phone to reveal the stall in which he left it. Surveillance video showed the owner of the phone entering and exiting the bathroom shortly before the bomb threat. Then a man, later identified as Clements, walked into the bathroom and was in the facility when the bomb threat call came in. Clements then left the store, but he walked back inside where deputies arrested him. He admitted to making the call, saying he saw people do the same thing on TikTok.
Yeah, that's funny. Bomb threats are hilarious.
Moron. A North Carolina middle school removed bathroom mirrors after students were skipping classes to make TikTok videos in the bathroom.
Can you believe this?
The Alamance Burlington school system announced this week that Southern Alamance Middle School had mirrors removed from the hallway bathrooms to reduce distractions. The move came as the school officials observed many students using the bathrooms 7 or 8 times a day, and in many cases during class.
Those mirrors are for popping zits.
Students were going to the bathroom for long periods of time and making TikTok videos. The removal of the mirrors have proven to be effective so far, as school officials notice fewer visits to the bathroom and students spending less time there. The district also implemented a Smart Pass digital hall pass system to allow students to check in and out when they leave classrooms.
Do kids smoke in the bathroom these days anymore?
Yes.
Okay.
They do.
Okay.
Really?
I have heard firsthand stories, yes.
Vaping, right?
Vaping
as well?
Yep, absolutely.
My high school had a smoking area.
Mine too.
For
Yes,
students.
mine.
Lounge. Called
Yeah.
it the Scrounge Lounge.
I
used to be
saw
in
it.
Yeah. Yeah, Steve
right.
took you back there.
Yes.
Remember he said you could buy pinners for $1 back then.
Yes.
The system is part of the school's existing software, therefore it won't be adding extra costs. Parents and social media users support the school's approach, noting that there are too many distractions for middle school students. A Missouri teacher has been charged with attempted murder after her husband told police he believed that she was poisoning him for several weeks and allegedly captured her adding a toxic plant to his smoothie.
Aha!
Police said that they investigated allegations of intentional poisoning of a spouse after the suspect's husband contacted them this week. He believed that a period of unexplained illnesses were, in fact, an intentional act of poisoning. Sarah Sheffer, 37 years old, was arrested on first-degree domestic assault charges. She has since been charged with attempted murder in first degree.
What you putting in my smoothie there, honey?
Her husband suspected her of poisoning his food and beverages for the past 6 weeks. The victim described 8 occurrences in which the defendant provided a beverage or food that had an odd taste and shortly after ingesting experienced extreme fatigue, confusion, blurred vision, severe cotton mouth, and nausea. So he confronted her on January 1st after she brought him a beverage with a bitter taste. Sheffer allegedly said she urinated in the beverage, then admitted to putting an industrial-strength adhesive in it.
Oh, you're just tasting my piss.
Only to then deny putting anything in the beverage. Her husband decided to install a hidden surveillance camera, which captured Sheffer making a smoothie for him in a blender. She allegedly added contents from a green bowl that contained a root from a bag labeled Lily of the Valley.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
That her husband had previously seen on a table in the home.
Yeah, that was a plot point in Breaking Bad, believe it or not.
For poisoning, this exact same purpose?
Yeah.
So would it be safe to say that the love has gone out of this relationship, Preston?
Well, there might still be hope there.
I know you tried to poison me, but you make a hell of a smoothie.
Lily of the Valley is a very poisonous plant that contains numerous cardiac glycosides, which slows down the heart and causes irregular heart rhythm. The smoothie, which had been placed in the fridge, was seized by police to be submitted to a state laboratory for testing. When questioned by police, Sheffer allegedly admitted to adding the root of the lily to the, the root of the lily of the valley to the blender with the intent to cause the victim
This kind
harm.
of thing.
And did all these
It's
things.
the kind of the lily of the valley and this kind of thing with the smoothies and the poison.
Sheffer is a design and art teacher at Cavalry Lutheran High School in Jefferson City, which is where I got my radio career started.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, you have a whole bunch of stuff going on in your old haunt.
I do. There was another.
Yeah, we were just talking
Steve's
about
like, did you see the video of the fire truck spinning around? You guys see that?
No.
Full fire truck doing 360s down the street.
Because it was iced over.
Okay.
Yeah.
That took place right around the corner from where Rochelle and I got married. It's Imperial, Missouri. It's right outside of Arnold.
Yeah, check it out.
Where we got married. Yeah. The video is, you won't believe
Here it is.
Oh, my God.
You've never seen a fire truck spin around like this thing.
My
It's-
God.
Dude.
It was a little slick.
Oh,
Oh my
wow.
God, that's terrible.
All right, and then speaking of terrible, one last story. 4 fraternity members have been arrested in a case surrounding the death of a Longhorn placed outside a rival frat house last month. Oklahoma State University students Bennett Fady, Luke Ackerley, Brody Shelby, and Andrew King were all arrested Wednesday following a more than month-long investigation from College Town cops. They each faced a charge of unlawful removal, disposal of a carcass. It's a misdemeanor. And the strange saga began on December 1st on the eve of the Big 12 championship game. Unsurprisingly, OSU were slated to play the Texas Longhorns, leading the 4 to cut the particular bovine's abdomen, carve a message into its carcass, and fasten it to the other fraternity's house porch.
Wow.
I mean, this thing's huge.
It is gigantic. It's a steer, yeah.
There was a significant amount of collective lack of cooperation from the Alpha Gamma Rho organization, police noted in an affidavit which revealed that some of the students' own fraternity brothers had been against the disturbing display. Cops they went through an elaborate process to track down these 4 guys who did it. They ended up following security footage, and it ended up being a steer that was taken from the ranch of an uncle of one of the students there.
They talked to some of the animals at that ranch.
So they learned that, they were doing this as a prank, obviously, but they killed an animal to do it, a very large animal.
Yeah.
So these guys are facing charges. They're going to be misdemeanor charges. Not going to be that much, but that's pretty damn nasty.
I wonder if the school's going to do anything to them.
Yeah,
I mean, that's probably going to be where they're really going to get hit.
Yep, and there you go. That's what I have in the bizarre file for you this morning. As we speak, the band Sleep Theory is sitting in the Acme Lounge.
Awesome.
And they're going to be stopping by this morning to perform live, which is pretty damn awesome. They have a gig tonight. And they're going to be performing at Franklin Music Hall. So we thank them for getting up early and coming in to play a little bit this morning. So we'll get to that in the 9 o'clock hour. Have them come in here, get set up and everything. We got some other things to get to. We're going to take a quick break. Come back in just a moment. So please stay with us this morning.
93.3 WMMR.
All right, thanks, Kath. We're going to try something out. I have a game to play. And you guys don't know what it is.
Yes.
I came up with this game just yesterday, and I thought this might be kind of fun. I stumbled across something, and I'm like, I think I could turn that into a game. So the way I'd like to do this is we have some prizes to give away. Case, what's the prize?
Yeah, so we actually have Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, starring Jason Momoa, who was just here last week, and we have that on digital.
And the best thing about this, you don't have to do anything.
No.
All you got to do is call in, and you're going to get matched up with one of the cast members on the show.
Wow.
Marissa had said 5. It's going to be 4 because you guys are going to be playing.
You can't play because you designed the game.
I'm conducting the
You'd
game.
be cheating.
You didn't look at this,
I didn't look.
did you?
I did not,
All right.
I promise.
Casey, Kathy, Nick, and Steve are going to play, and you just will be assigned one of the cast members of the show, and whoever has the most points at the end of each one of these rounds will be deemed the winner.
All right.
If we need to do I haven't figured out what to do in the event of a tie. We'll figure that out in a little bit.
So we have no idea what this is, but I have a feeling it's probably based on Monopoly.
It is not based on Monopoly. It's Case. Do we have some game show music or something?
You want
like
game
that?
show music? Because I just got your regular dialing bed music.
The dialing bed will be fine. It's called Name That Decade.
Name that decade.
Yes, and what I've done is I have taken various slang words and phrases from different decades throughout the years, and I will give you the slang term or phrase, and you just tell me, you write down what decade you think it came from.
Okay.
I'll give you a point for every answer. Whoever has the most points at the end of each round will be deemed our winner, and then the prize will go to that person. Now, keep in mind, these are words or phrases that came into prominence in slang.
They may not have been created in that decade, but when they became the most famous and most used, that's the decade you're looking for.
So the decade range that we're going with is between the 20s and the 2010s. I didn't do anything into this decade.
1820s.
1920s. 1920s to the 2010s.
Okay.
To the teens.
Okay.
I find the time after September 11, 2001 until today to be just one giant
One
decade.
glob?
Yeah,
I know.
But I know what you're saying.
A blobade.
I think you guys will be good with these.
Okay.
So I'll give you the phrase, you write down what you think the decade is, and then I'll go around and ask each of you.
All right.
And we'll do a point system, which I haven't
All right, so
set
we
up.
keeping our own points? Is that what you want?
Yeah, that would help me out.
Okay.
A lot. So I figured we could do 5 per round.
All right.
Case, I'm sorry. Casey's right over here by my sheet.
I'm just going to close my
1,
eyes.
2, 3, 4, 5. All right.
5 per round and 30 per round.
All right. No.
Oh.
5 per round, and you get a point for every correct answer. Now, if there's a tie, I don't know what the hell we'll do. We'll figure it out then.
We let the band play.
So, Steve, you have Bob that you're playing for. Kathy is playing for Alex. Nick is playing for Joe, and Casey is playing for listener Tom. These guys are on the line. Okay, you guys ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
What decade did the term Daddy-O come into prominence?
Daddy-O.
Daddy-O.
Okay.
215. No, don't call now. Just write down your answer.
Okay.
All right, Daddy-O.
Yeah.
All right, Nick, what do you think?
The 50s.
1950s.
I said the 90s.
Kathy says the 90s. Steve?
Said the 50s.
And Casey?
I said the 50s.
All right, the 50s is correct.
Pulp Fiction came out in the 90s, and she says Daddy-O.
Yeah.
when they're at Jack Rabbit
But
Slims.
also in Back to the Future, remember he calls George Dad.
Yeah.
He goes, "Listen, Dad, Daddy-o."
Yeah.
All right, how about this one? Jiggy.
All right.
All right.
And getting jiggy with it.
Yeah.
All right. What
Hang on.
decade did that come out? Write down your answer. So far, Casey and Steve and Nick have a point. Kathy's got none ya. Casey, what decade do you say?
I'm going 90s.
Steve?
I'm going 90s.
Kathy?
Oh, no. I said 80s.
And Nick?
90s.
It's the 90s.
It was the poor sap that is playing with Kathy.
You got to remember, she was in a coma for 20 years.
That's Alex. Alex is not doing so good. All right, but there's 3 more to go in this
All right,
round.
we still have a chance, Alex.
All right, how about this one? The term blockbuster.
Blockbuster.
When did that come into prominence as a slang term? Blockbuster. All right, so we'll go around the room. And remember, it's the 1920s till the 2010s. Kathy, what decade? I want to know. What'd you write down?
80s.
The 80s. Steve?
70s.
All right, Casey?
80s.
Nick?
70s.
The 1940s.
Oh,
Was when blockbuster was initially a slang term. It's a lot older than you think. So you had the blockbuster stores, but before that, a blockbuster was something that people lined up around the
the block.
Yeah,
It would block the block. Yes.
Yes. So a lot of people would stand in line to go to the event. All right, here you go. How about this one? Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle.
Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle.
What decade?
What's our first decade of choice?
Where do you find
20s.
that? 20s. 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s.
I'll be a monkey's uncle.
90s, aughts.
Wow, all right.
Teens.
All right.
I'll be a monkey's uncle. All right, everybody got it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nick?
I wrote the 20s for this one.
All right, Kathy?
50s.
All right, Steve?
I wrote the 30s.
And Casey?
Oh, man. I went with the 20s. I like Steve's guess better.
Well, Steve's right. 1930s.
You know how I know that? I was alive.
Steve's in the lead.
Steve is in the lead. He's one up on everybody. All right, now here is the last phrase for this particular round. In what decade did the phrase "catch you on the flip side" make it into prominence?
All right.
Wow.
Catch you on the flip side. You have to think about what that means.
It has to do with anal.
Well, it could maybe
yeah,
today,
yeah.
but I don't know about back when this first came around. Yeah, they were doing anal back then.
Of course they were, yeah.
All right,
It started with the Hoover administration.
Steve, what do you think?
I said the 80s.
All right, Casey,
I went with the 90s.
Kathy,
Oh, I had 80s.
and Nick.
I went 70s.
Nick got it right.
Oh, we got a tie.
We got a tie between Steve and Nick, and I don't know what to do in the case of a tie.
Fight to the death. Here we go. Get pull cue.
How about a toss-up?
How about a makeout fight?
All right, we'll do a toss up between the two of you. Let's see if you can get this right.
All right.
Let's hear Steve's idea.
The problem is, if we don't get the toss up right, then we're just gonna have to keep going until somebody gets
All
here. It's
right,
going to use up all my
Toss
damn
up game.
ones
All right.
here. All right, this is for Nick and Steve.
Okay.
Hipster.
Hipster. Someone who is a hipster.
Yep.
Hipster
All right.
doofus.
All right.
I'm a hipster doofus. All right.
Write down your answer. All right, Steve, what do you have?
I said 60s.
And Nick?
I also said 60s.
1950s.
So Kathy wins.
Kathy wins by default.
We're good.
Yeah.
We need another way for a tiebreaker because I don't want to use up all of these.
Okay, I got a really good idea.
Who can
Okay.
pee the
Why
longest?
don't we just give
Flip a coin.
Do we have enough?
We do. For this round, we do.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I want to keep playing.
Yeah, I know. We have more. after
Okay,
that.
all right. So we'll give it to both Bob and Joe. They're both winners. How about that? Yay!
Oh, we're good
Oh
at
my
this.
God, that's amazing. All right, so Bob and Joe, you guys have won Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom starring Jason Momoa, and this is on digital. You can buy it now, and you can get $3 off the digital movie at wb.com/Lost Kingdom.
You know, they say if you like the first one, well, there's this one.
All right, then there's that one. All right, so we have a new set of callers on the line. Casey, you're going to be playing with Brian. Steve, you're playing with Rich. Kathy, you get to play with somebody named Gilbert.
Okay.
Gilbert.
Right.
And unless it's a typo.
It's got to be Gilbert.
Unless it's Gilbert. I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
It's Wahlberg.
It's Gilbert.
Gilbert, me and Gilbert. We got
and
this one.
Nick, you've got Emily.
All right.
All right, here we go. What decade was the phrase or slang term bodacious first coming into prominence in the lexicon? Bodacious.
Give me a second.
All righty.
All right.
All right, Nick, we'll start with you.
I think that this is a surfing term dating back to the 50s.
All right.
Oh.
Kathy, what do you think?
I was going 80s.
All right, Steve.
I think Nick is very astute. I did 90s.
And Casey?
I went 80s.
1980s. Kathy!
She's on the board. All right. What a winner.
All right.
Well, her mindset is to just keep saying 80s.
Yeah.
You're going to get a couple every now and then. All right, so both Casey and Kathy have a point. Next up, the phrase is word.
Word. Word.
Do you like how I threw the emphasis on that?
Very good.
Word.
Word.
What decade did that hit? And by word, I mean in the slang
And we go to
parlance.
I'm sorry, it's to the 2010, right?
1920s to 2010.
So the aughts with that?
That'd be the teens.
No.
The aughts would be the 02, 01, 03, 04, so on. Yeah. All right, Case?
I was on the fence about this one between 80s and 90s, but I went down with the 90s.
With the 90s. Steve, how about you?
I went 90s.
And Kathy?
I went 90s.
And Nick?
90s.
Point for everybody.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Yes.
On there?
That could be one.
Kathy and Casey are in the lead. All right, how about this one? When did the phrase workaholic or the term workaholic work its way into the English language as far as a slang term goes? Let's see if you know that. All right, we'll start with you, Kathy. What decade?
I'm going early. I'm going to say it's dating back to the 40s.
All right, Nick?
I'm going to go much more recent. I'm going to go the aughts.
And Steve?
I said the aughts.
And Casey?
I said the aughts.
It actually hit in the 1970s, folks.
Wow.
Workaholic is when that happened.
Sure, it just wasn't alcoholic?
Maybe it was, and I read this wrong. All right, how about this one? Peeps.
Peeps. Okay, now we're not talking about the delightful candy tree. We're talking about the slang term.
My pipples.
Right.
My peeps. Your crew, your gang.
Okay.
What decade?
My mates, if I were
do we think
across the pond.
That came out. That is correct, Nick.
All right.
So we'll start with you, Nick. What decade?
I'm gonna go aughts again.
Aughts. Kathy.
90s.
Steve.
90s.
Oof. Casey.
Aughts.
McElwain and Casey. 2000s is when the peeps hit.
All right.
So right now, Casey leads. He's got 2 points.
I got 3.
You have 3 points. I'm
Yep.
sorry.
Come on, man.
All right. And then one last one. This is the final one of this round. What decade gave us Gag Me with a Spoon?
Okay.
All right.
Name that decade. It's what we're playing. All right, Kathy, let's start with you.
80s.
80s. Nick.
It sounds so 80s. I hope that that's not obvious. I'm going 80s.
All right, Steve.
80s.
And
I
Kat.
agree with you, Nick, because I was thinking maybe it started in the 70s and then Valley Girl came out in the 80s, but I wrote 80s.
It was the 80s. Hey! But we had to have a winner, leader with 3 points, Casey. 4 points. I'm sorry. And that means that Brian is our winner. In Case, what are we going to set him up with?
Brian, we have Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom starring Jason Momoa on digital. You can buy it now and get $3 off the digital movie at wb.com/Lost Kingdom.
All right, let's do another round.
I wonder what decade the guys in Sleep Theory were born, because when they walked in, I was like, are these guys 12?
I know.
They're younger looking fella.
They're fresh.
Yeah, fresh.
The aughts, definitely.
They're aughts?
All right, let's go with this. We have new contestants up. Let's see. Casey is playing for Steve. Steve is playing for Christy. Kathy's playing for Alex, and Nick is playing for Debbie.
Right,
All right,
Debbie.
here we go. What decade did we find the term groovy hitting America and the world? Groovy. All right, Steve, we'll start with you.
60s.
Casey
I wrote 60s.
and Kath
60s.
and Nick.
60s.
All the way around 60s. That is correct. Yes, the 1960s. I thought that was pretty much a give me.
Yeah.
All right, how about this one? When did we hear the term, and Steve says this from time to time, 23 skidoo?
Oh, man.
What decade do you think that hit? 23 skidoo. And I would like to find out the derivation of that, the etymology.
Anal.
Does it mean anal again?
I didn't know that.
God, all the butt stuff. All right, Steve, we'll start with you because you're the one that says it from time to time.
20s.
All right, Casey?
I wrote, guess what I get to do?
Guess what I get to do?
20s.
20s, Kathy?
I wrote 20s.
And Nick?
I wrote 40s.
Everybody but Nick. 1920s.
Good.
All right, where do we stand with the points? I haven't been paying attention.
I have 2.
I have 2.
I have 1.
All right, and Kathy has 1.
No, I think
You just got 1
What
with
was
the
the
20s.
Oh, you
Right,
guys,
and the
yeah,
one before that
everybody got
was
the 60s. Yeah,
60s.
you're
Yeah, I
right.
got
Okay.
2.
Oh, the 60s.
So 2 points for Casey, Steve, and Kathy at this point. All right, when did the phrase dig it come into prevalence? Dig it.
I'm thinking of the music, the songs.
That's a good place to go.
Well, wait a second.
John Lennon had a song called Dig It. All right, let's go with Nick to start with. What decade, Nick?
This one, I really don't know, Press, but I'm going to guess 70s.
All right, Casey?
I'm guessing 70s as well.
Kathy?
I said 80s.
And Steve?
50s.
1970s. Casey and Nick.
Wait a second, though.
Yeah.
Like Dark Side of the Moon. He says, dig it.
Okay.
Right. And when did that come out?
70s.
Dark Side of the Moon came out in the 70s.
74.
Yeah.
Did it?
Oh, yeah. Not
Dig
the
it?
50s for sure.
All right.
No, yeah.
And then we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 2 more to go here.
All right.
Fleek.
Oh, okay.
On fleek.
All right.
Decade did that phrase hit? All right, Casey, we'll start with you.
Aughts.
Kathy?
Aughts.
Nick?
Aughts.
Steve?
Aughts.
Teens.
Wow.
Oh. What are we going up to?
We're going up to the
20.
teens.
Oh, damn it.
Oh, I thought it was all. Nick threw me off when he counted.
I made that on one day.
Everything past 9/11.
Next time blob.
Gigantic
fault.
time blob.
I apologize.
All right, and then the last one. Let's see if you guys can get this right. Cool.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
When did cool hit?
So when it was used most in slang because it goes back.
Yeah, when it first hit as slang.
All right.
What decade was that?
Okay.
Everybody's thinking about this.
Yeah, this
one.
one's tough.
Give me a
This
second.
one's hard.
By the way, while you're looking that up, 23 skidoo is an American slang phrase generally referring to leaving quickly, being forced to leave quickly by someone, or taking advantage of a propitious opportunity
Favorable.
to leave. Popularized in the early 20s. The exact origin of the phrase is uncertain.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
See anal.
For reference.
All right. Kathy, what decade did cool hit?
I put the 60s.
Steve?
I put the 40s.
Nick?
I put the 50s.
And Casey?
I put the 50s as well.
Kathy. Steve is the only one, 1940s. Hey! All right, what are the point totals? How many you guys, Steve?
I have 200. No, I have 4.
All right, Casey?
I only have 3.
2.
Two.
Morrison!
Hey!
That means listener Christy is
that how you play this game?
is our winner. Hey! Case, what do we have for her?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know you're playing the game.
I was
too busy.
It's a different role. We're going to do one more, and that's it, by the way.
Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, starring Jason Momoa, and you're getting that on digital. You can buy it now and get $3 off digital movie at wb.com/Lost Kingdom.
I want to see that.
All right, and I want to kiss you.
I want to kiss you. I
fight
want
you.
to fight you, then kiss you, then watch Aquaman.
All right, we'll do one more round, and that is it. Are we currently getting our callers on the line, or is this it? I don't know.
I want to kiss you.
You want to kiss
I
me?
want to fight you.
And fight me.
And I want to watch Aquaman.
All right. Yeah, we'll get callers up in a minute here, and we'll get our I think those are
Santa's got to go.
Those are the people you were previously attached
Yeah.
to.
But Sean on line 6 is starting the new the new wave.
We'll get the rest of them in
we'll
line.
get
All right, so 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. What decade did we have the term juke joint created?
A juke joint.
Yes.
Oh, is that where you would juke?
No.
Yes, the joint you juke in.
That's where people would meet for anal. Juke joint.
Okay.
Huh. And all my Sharpies are dying out here.
Oh, no. I got one for you, bro.
All right. Anyway, all right, juke joint. Nick?
This is a total guess, Preston. I really don't know, so I'm just guessing 40s.
All right, Kathy?
I said 40s.
Steve?
I think it says keying off the jukebox and a juke joint. I might go with the 50s.
All right, and Casey?
Man, I wrote 30s because I wasn't thinking like Steve.
Well, it's a good thing because you're the only one that's right, Casey.
Yes, I knew it.
If you go back to the movie The Color Purple, remember Harpo has a juke joint.
One of the Marx Brothers is in there?
No, not Harpo Marx. Harpo was, I think that was the name of, which is odd because Oprah played his wife,
Yeah,
and Oprah's
backwards.
name is backwards is Harpo.
It all's coming
And
together.
Stedman's name backwards is Groucho.
No, it's not. But anyway, all right, how about this? Nick, you'll like this. Gams.
Gams.
Nice gams.
All
Wait, what is it?
Gams.
As in
It means legs.
Like legs.
GAMS.
Yes, correct.
Like
Nick
gam.
and I, there's a line from Saving Private Ryan that we always say, nice gams.
Also, gam.
Oh,
And
okay.
gam,
Hang on a
gam.
second. That changes
Sorry,
everything.
you
for me,
called
bro.
your man.
What'd you think it was?
No. Your little thing there kind of.
Nice gams. All right, what decade? Let's start with you, Kathy.
I have no idea. 60s.
All right, Steve.
I'm saying 30s.
All right, Case.
I'm going to go with 40s.
And Nick.
I also went 30s.
It's actually the 1920s. So it was an older term by the time we got to World War II, Nick. So
Damn it.
all right. How about chillax?
Chillax.
Okay.
Slang terms that have come out throughout the years. What decade did we have chillax?
Okay.
Does anybody have any points yet?
I do.
Okay.
got
Yeah,
one.
that's right. You got juke joint right. Yeah.
Jake, chill.
All right, chillax. Nick, what do you think?
I'm going 90s.
All right, Kathy
Oh, I went teens.
and Steve
I went odds.
and Casey.
I went teens.
Casey and Kathy. The teens, yes. Chillax came out in the teens. So right now, Casey's 2 points up. He's got 1 point up because he has 2 points. All right, how about this one? We have 2 more to go. The man.
Oh, wow.
You are the man.
Yeah, or
The man, the police.
don't let the
overarching-
man keep you down. Or
Yeah.
don't let the man get you down or whatever.
Or the venue.
Or the man. The man center.
It's a delightful venue.
It really is.
It's great.
Okay, the man.
All right, Kathy, what do you think? The man.
I have 80s.
All right, Nick.
60s.
Steve
I should say the 60s, but I'm going to say the 70s.
and Casey.
I went 70s as well.
Nick's the only one to get it right. Hit in the 1960s. Is that your first point?
Yes. In this round, yes.
So Casey has 2 points so far. He's leading. And then one last one. Homeboy or homie.
Okay.
When did that hit as a slang term? See if you guys know. All right, homeboy or homie? All right, we're going to start with you, Steve.
80s?
Casey?
I'm going Homie the Clown in the 90s.
Ooh.
Kathy?
I said 80s.
And Nick?
I said 80s as well.
The 1990s is what my source said. So Casey is our winner. And name that decade, and that means that listener Sean has got a prize.
Sean, you just won yourself Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom starring Jason Momoa, and you got that on digital. You can buy it now and get $3 off the digital movie at WB.com/Lost Kingdom.
You guys did well.
Yeah.
Those are some of those are, and I know that it's kind of interpretive as to when a
they
phrase
become,
hit, but it's kind of in the ballpark. So I was looking at those yesterday. I had found the list, and I'm like, all right, some of these are pretty cool. And you never really think about when. You think some of them are a little more recent than actually they are. They've been around for a
Were there
long
a bunch
time.
on the list that you didn't get to?
There were a handful.
Okay.
We could do another round of this. I could probably find some more.
That was fun.
I thought you guys might like that. All right, excellent. Thank you, and it helped us get rid of some of the prizes that we need to put in your hands. Speaking of stuff to give away, it's Tattoo Tuesday. We have a chance to win a Preston and Steve Show themed tattoo. Join the ranks, friends. Text the word tattoo to 39333, and Floating World Tattoo and Piercing might set you up with a $350 gift certificate, which we'll give away at the end of the show. When we return, very excited. Sleep Theory is going to be performing live in our studio. They're ready to go. They're playing at the Franklin Music Hall tonight. Don't miss that show. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. Thank you very much, Kathy. Our next guests have been, well, we've been playing them here on MMR, their song Numb. And they have a gig tonight, Franklin Music Hall. They're playing with Beartooth. And they're making their way around promoting their sound. They're a newer band, although they probably cringe at hearing that. Like, guys, we've been together for 4 or 5 years or whatever. But maybe newer to you. We would like to welcome Cullen, Paolo, Daniel, and Ben of Sleep Theory here. Morning, guys. Thanks for coming by this morning. Hang on, I lost you. There we go. I turned that down. Thanks. Listen, we apologize. This is not rock star time. We get it. Every band we ever have in here, I start by going, sorry you had to get up and come in this morning.
We're going to make it.
Yeah, you're going to make it. That's
good.
positive thinking. There you go.
Good.
But, I had said you guys were a new band, but in all honesty, you have been together for a number of years now, right?
Yeah, it's the studio started in 2019.
Okay.
It's been a studio project since then, yeah.
Studio project? When did it leave the studio?
January 12th of 2023.
No kidding.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing because you had your first single hit 500,000 views on TikTok, right, and took off. And I was reading, I forget who was saying it, but there were people saying, oh, these guys must be an industry plant, or this must be some sort of, and I'm like, no, I mean, that's the way that's the way social media can work, off and running. So, and then when that stuff starts coming back your way, does that phase you when people are saying, you're like, no, we legitimately got here? Does that spur you on to go, well, we're going to show you that we're real deal, or do you even care?
Yeah, it's just people can think what they want.
Right.
You know?
To me, it seems so dumb because if people like it and they're responding to it, it doesn't matter. But it's not the case.
Yeah.
But I don't know why that's a thing and why that was a thing.
Yeah, the day that the TikTok was posted, it was on a whim, actually.
Oh, was it?
It was kind of like, I texted Paolo, I was like, should we post this teaser? And he was like, I mean, we already posted the song before a year prior, and it didn't do as well, so we took it off of Spotify, and we are like, we'll just put real promotion behind it. And then we got Ben, and we're just kind of like, we're feeling good. We're just like, should we post this teaser? And then he was like, maybe not. And then Pal's like, maybe you should. I was like, okay. And then I thought about it, I was like, nah. And then on a whim, posted it, went to sleep, woke up, and it was just doing the crazy thing.
So you said you had the song, you had the video, and then you said, and then we got Ben and Dan. So it was recorded before the two brothers here were in?
It was a studio project, yes.
So it was a studio project? Other people, or were you guys playing all the instruments?
It was it was me, Paolo, and then our producer, Dave.
Okay. All right. And then, but you needed some band members. You had to, and where'd you find these guys, Ben and Dan?
At our workplace. So, yep. I met Ben. He was training me on our job, and what happened is we started to get along, listening to heavy metal and all that stuff. Then I met his brother, Daniel.
What job was it?
It was a medical device company.
Really? Okay.
So all this talent at a medical device.
We work at a quality inspecting job, so it was fun. It was a good time. It was a good
I
time.
mean, that in the broad scheme of things, there's so many people who slog away trying to, in their bands trying to get things to work. You have put in your time, but you're still relatively young. But I also get the impression in reading interviews with you guys is that you have, I think, the best attitude, which is we're having fun.
Hey, that's all it is, man.
There's nothing to sweat. Yeah,
that's all it is. I think that the idea that a lot of people have is to have this persona that they're just I don't know, they're tough or they're hard, and it's just why don't we just have fun doing what we're doing? We have technical issues, and just why make it a big deal on stage when we can just make it a part of the act? Just have fun. We're just regular people. If we can show that we're normal, then people would be able to connect with us
more approachable.
Well, how are you regular people adjusting to bus life, van life, road life, all the things that come with that?
It's fun.
It's got to be fun, right?
It's fun. Yeah, it really is fun. It really is. Yeah. I think a lot of us at first, it was kind of like, it was different, but I mean, it's nothing that, once we get in there, everybody's like, oh, man, once you get on the road and you did this and do that. I mean, this is the first long tour that we've been on, but, we've been the other
always look out for each other.
It helps that
that's the most important thing.
All get along, too.
Well, that's you got to have that. Yeah. Absolutely. And with this kind of being a new aspect to your lives, are you Is it cool getting out and meeting other bands, other musicians? And you know, I mean, you guys are kind of the new guys on the scene as far as that goes. So maybe you're running into some veterans that can maybe help you along. Has anything like that happened along the way?
Yeah, actually, it's been pretty cool. You know, we got to go out with Shinedown.
Yeah.
Then we got to go out with Set It Off. We played some one-off shows with I Prevail and Falling in Reverse. But now we're with Beartooth, and you know, we were talking to Caleb, and they were just completely surprised. They're like, you guys are just like, this is your first like big tours. Like, you guys are always just presenting yourself as professional. He's like, you guys just get in there and do the thing. He's like, we couldn't have asked for like a better, you know, starting band to kind of do the thing. And we're just like, that's great. You know? Like, awesome.
They're essentially saying, you guys haven't done all the stupid stuff that all the rookie bands normally do. So that's good. You got, you got a leg up.
I want to ask about the medical device company, because that's a steady paycheck, right? And you have a job. At one point, do you realize we need to... This might be a job too. Like, we can earn a living, we can make a profession, make this professional. So at what point did you figure we're going to leave this spot and go out and actually try this as a profession?
It was kind of hard because we are working 12-hour shifts, and we're we're grinding studio stuff all the time. We make content on our off days, so it's been very stressful. But when we signed with the label and we started to figure things out, like, you know what? Let's make this a full-time job.
Did you celebrate when you signed?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. When you walked away from the job, did you ever estimate how many people started flatlining because the equipment wasn't working?
You know,
quality control went down. I have a question. So the song that we've been playing is Numb. Great song. People are loving it. We're getting incredible feedback on MMR. So you've got automatic fans here in Philadelphia from that tune. I was giving it a closer listen today because we're working while the music is playing here, and we kind of half listen, and we're working on our job, and we catch the songs here, and eventually after hearing songs a few times, they start to slide in, and you recognize and you get a feel for them. But I was watching the video and checking the lyrics and listening to Numb, which has got this really cool hard edge to it, but it also has this kind of tender melody to it as well, which is unassuming. And I realized at its core, if you were to strip that down and take away the distorted guitars and all the heavy edge, and then when the vocals start getting like this, it's actually a really tender melody that if you just played it on piano would be, and I know it's not a love song per se, but it's got that vibe to it.
Well, that was the idea of all the songs. It's just like, if we were to strip away all of the like guitars, drums, and screams, all that stuff, and just add different things over it, it could be a pop song.
Yeah.
Like, that's, same thing with, Another Way, same thing with Gone or Stan, or like any song is just like, we want it to be able to be cross-genre, I guess you could say. It's just like, the Numb Reimagine is out, on YouTube, and it's just like, it's straight up just lo-fi beats and just
Okay, that's always sort of a litmus test for artists, right?
If you can take away all the flourishes and does the
make
song
it work.
still stand? That's is it a good piece of music that was written? And that definitely has that.
And the idea is just like, with Numb Reimagine is a lot of people that don't like the screaming will be like, well, I don't like this, but we really love the Reimagine, and it's just like, that's, grandma can listen to it.
So grandma loves it.
Yeah, grandma loves
She's the one pulling up her top at the concert.
Oh yeah,
there we go. You talk about loving heavy metal, right? And funk and all that stuff. So all that blends into the music, right? So it's sort of an amalgamation of that. Was there a right from the get-go, did you know the sound you wanted to get, or are you still sort of finding it as you move along?
So in the very beginning, it was just me, myself, and our producer Dave,
right?
And then it just started crafting. We first wrote a song that's on the upcoming album, and then we're just like, okay, this is a really cool sound. And then Enough on the EP was a second song that we wrote. And then by the third song, which we got to, which is another song on the album coming up, we were like, okay, this is a little bit in the realm of where we want to do. We started adding a little bit more of R&B, and then we added a little bit more of pop. And then it was just like, okay. And then by the fourth song, which is Another Way, we're like, this is...
You got it.
This is locked in.
And
awesome. It was the third song when Paolo came in, and he started adding like different things to the element. And then like we just started... It's just a good vibe. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, man, what do you do in the studio? How do you do it? And like, man, we just goof off and play Mario Kart.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
That's the way. That's the way.
That's accurate.
Well, we're going to get a couple of songs from you. So what would you guys like to play first?
We'll do Gone or Stand first.
All right, excellent. So we've got Daniel on guitar, Ben is playing the cajon, and we have Cullen, the lead singer. Paolo is wearing his hoodie.
There you go.
Just going to stand there and hang out. No, I assume we're going to get some vocals out of him.
Yes, sir.
Sleep Theory, and they're playing tonight at Franklin Music Hall, and this is them performing on MMR. Here we go.
I know I shouldn't call you, but it's raining, and you keep saying that you're all alone. But I ain't with these games you keep on playing. You gonna stay in, make up your mind and let me go. I know I shouldn't call you, but it's raining, and you keep saying that you're all alone. But I ain't with these games you keep on playing. You gonna stay in, make up your mind and let me go. You hide it well, but I can tell by the look in your eyes. You are falling to pieces, and with a glance you let me dance with your greatest disguise. And it's leaving me sleepless.
Back and forth you push and pull me as I get lost in what we should be.
I know I shouldn't call you, but it's raining, and you keep saying that you're all alone. But I ain't with these games you keep on playing. You gonna stay in, make up your mind and let me go. You hide it well, but I can tell by the look in your eyes.
Make up your mind and let me go.
And with a glance you let me dance with your greatest disguise.
Make up your mind and let me go.
If stars align we would be fine, but it's only in time, and the clock is against me. It's by design, it's all a sign, in and out of your mind, and I can't keep from thinking.
I stand here just to fight for nothing, so far gone and you keep running.
I know I shouldn't call you, but it's raining, and you keep saying that you're all alone. But I ain't with these games you keep on playing. You gonna stay in, make up your mind and let me go. If stars align we would be fine, but it's only in time.
Make up your mind and let me go.
It's by design, it's all a sign, in and out of your mind.
Make up your mind and let me go.
Make up your mind or let me go.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Fantastic sound.
Excellent.
If you're just tuning in, it's Sleep Theory is here. Their EP is called Paper Hearts. You can check that out, the website, sleeptheoryofficial.com, but I assume anywhere you download music, you can find that anywhere. So they're playing tonight at Franklin Music Hall. I wanted to ask, Cullen, you were former military?
Yes, sir.
You had served in the U.S. Army?
Yes, sir.
And what was your job there?
I was an 88 Mike.
What does that mean?
They said we were the bomb testers. I got to basic training. They said, hey, who's this? Who's that? And they said, all right, who's the bomb testers? They were throwing all these numbers out, names. And everybody looked around. They were like, they said, who's the bomb testers? Everybody was looking around. They said, all right, who's the 88 mics? And I was like, you know, they're like, you guys are the truck drivers, so whenever there's an IED, you know, you just, like, if we don't know what it does, like, when you guys drive over it, and we're like, oh, that's what it does.
It's like a bomb said. Oh, my God.
Like, yeah, that's a bomb.
That's insane.
That's what that new one does.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah.
Wow.
The 80 mic. It was just transportation. It
Okay.
was like, you know, transportate people, you know, are like weapons.
Yeah.
Vehicles.
Were you known as the singing soldier? Did you sing around the?
I was actually relatively quiet.
Yeah?
Were you?
Yeah, surprising.
Okay.
Surprising. I was actually relatively quiet in my unit.
Was your dad was in the military as well?
He was.
Yeah.
Yep, he retired at Lieutenant Colonel. Yeah.
I wanted to ask Apollo, so you guys hooked up, Cullen. You were looking for a microphone on Facebook. What kind of mic were you looking for?
It was a Blue Yeti mic.
A Blue Yeti?
I was about to start streaming,
right,
playing video games, and I met one of his mutual friends, and we met at a party.
There you go.
And
are you both gamers?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is the game of choice?
Overwatch.
Really?
Overwatch.
Yeah. All day. We're so competitive.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
and all you guys, are you video games as well?
Not really. They're trying to get us into it.
All right.
Yeah.
Dude,
I mean, Mario Kart. Yeah.
Mario Kart.
Mario Kart.
I mean, I'm a pro.
Yeah, look, I haven't lost the game of Mario Kart since Shine Down.
Don't listen to him.
I tried playing Overwatch with my son, and I'm like, I'm just too old, man. Dude, it's moving so fast. There's so much crap going on.
Just play heels.
Play heels?
Yeah, just hop on heels, and then you just float around.
Is that the character?
Yeah.
You know,
Is he the one that? Oh yeah, that's
a roll. Yeah.
Yeah, that helps out the other with their health.
Yeah.
Okay.
All you gotta do is
I thought that was a boring character.
No.
Okay.
No. There's multiple healers. There's multiple. So you get a choice.
You know, he says, you just be this guy. Yeah.
Look, I play heels the most.
Oh, do you?
That's my favorite role.
Yeah, my son dug that character too, or that role in that, and I was like, "What's so much fun about helping up?" But you get to kill people too.
Yeah.
What good are video games if you can't do that?
Right?
Wow. Well, let's find out. Dan, we haven't really talked to you yet. I'm sorry, Ben, the drummer. Yes. Never gets to say anything. So, is his mic even on? All right, there we go.
Yes, that's why I haven't talked.
That's right. You were in marching band.
Yes.
High school or college?
Both.
Yeah.
I played drum set in college.
Okay.
I actually dislocated my arm in college, so I just stuck with drum kit.
Okay. But with the marching band, like in the pit, or
yeah, I was in the pit with it.
That's pretty cool.
Which college was that?
It was a community college called Northwest Community. Yeah.
And you guys are all from, or you met in the Memphis area? Is that correct?
Yeah. That is so cool. I mean, that's as organic as it can get, where you're like your coworkers and your people in your town, and the band just clicks. There's no marching version of the cone, is there?
No. That would be cool, though.
That might be $1 million idea, right?
Sit down every time.
I have a small cajon that you can actually wear. There's a strap.
Really?
It's only about this big. It's not real deep. It's pretty cool.
The rectangle one.
Yeah, exactly. It's fun. It's got snares that you can turn off and on it, which is pretty awesome.
Ben, so is your Instagram handle BenJammin10?
It is.
All right. So the only reason I ask is my son's name is also Ben, and his YouTube channel is BenJammin25.
Oh,
you
guys should meet up at some point.
Yeah, you're only 15 steps apart.
Exactly.
He knows what's up.
He
knows what's up.
It kind of just worked out because I grew up like our family called me Benjamin.
There you
and then
go.
I picked up drums, so it just made sense.
It was meant to be. Yeah.
And Paolo, you're originally from the Philippines?
I am from the Philippines.
How long ago did you move to the States?
I moved here September of 2016.
Family bring you here? Or?
Yes, family. Family's been here. They're from Memphis.
Okay. Wow.
And I got family from Utah and some other parts of the States.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was music a part of your life in the Philippines as far as playing music goes?
Yes, I was also a drummer way back in the Philippines. My dad's a musician. I'll also sing. So it kind of like blends in when me and Colin start clicking up. We sing a lot of R&B and karaoke.
It's actually a funny story off the drumming. Like whenever I was like, when he was playing guitar at the party that we met at, I was like, you gotta like, come do. He was like, okay. He's like, he's like, no, I don't want to do it. I'll just do photography for you for free. I was like, no, Paolo, you don't understand. I was like, I need you. He's like, no, I peer pressured him. And so he was like, all right, fine, I'll play drums. I was like, well, I don't need you to do drums. He was like, okay, what do you want me to do? Play guitar? I was like, man, not that. I was like, you play bass? He was like, no. I was like, well, you play acoustic. It's the same thing, and you know, you're good. And so he picked up the bass, and like a month later, he was good to go.
Dude, man, bass players almost always end up being a bass player by default. Somebody asks them to play bass, and then you can fall in love with the instrument.
There
but
you go.
Not many people take right to that bass. It's usually a guitar. Yeah. And then it's like, hey, man, we need a bass player.
Well, the
happened to Paul
reason
McCartney.
Well, the reason is it's he could play play guitar.
Piano.
Drums and piano. But he's such a good singer. You know, if we had him behind the drums, Ben can sing also. But like he has like a stage presence. I was like, there's no way. Just Paolo is just. We wouldn't have all these Paolo parts in these songs. You know, it's just. So there was a reason.
It was a reason. It was. I love that moment.
So have you formed a love for the instrument now?
Oh yeah. So when you play drums, you fell in love with the bass too. They always click with each other.
Yeah.
So it's an easy learning process for me.
Okay.
So,
you talked about photography, and there was a point at which, were you ever at a point where you were like 50-50 music and film? And
when the band was like just nothing, I'm totally into film and photography.
Right.
That was my second job. I shoot weddings, film content and all that stuff. So when the band was clicking off, I was the one who was making content for the band.
Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lyrically, who handles that responsibility? Or do you all contribute?
Yeah,
or?
all of us, and our producer David Cowell. He's a genius.
Amazing.
Okay, so I'm like I said, I'm new to the band. I really don't know a whole lot about you guys, and we like to get people in here and meet them and find out about them. And so, but just checking lyrically. On the song Numb. It's very positive, very self-empowering message that's there. Is that something you guys are that you want to thread through your music, of this positive outlook and advocating for yourself and stuff like that?
Yeah, just relatable. All of our songs is just like, especially off of Paper Hearts, it's just all the songs is just, we all get together and like, what are we really feeling, based off of our experiences? Yeah. Like, oh, we experienced this with this. And he was like, oh, yeah, whenever people do this, he's like, yeah, I experienced it this way. And then we just kind of collectively, right now, I guess it's positive. I don't think we have any negative songs just yet.
Not yet.
Well, not yet. But
they're there though.
Yeah, but there's, it's just all about experiences. Like one of the songs, just kind of like, it is talking about like whenever the band was coming up, people that talked about this or that, because there's just a lot of, a lot of this and that, and it's just like, so there's songs that kind of hint towards those people that were like speaking, but no one in particular. It's just like, but it's also like a universal thing, a universal thing to where someone else that's never experienced the way that we experienced it can be like, oh yeah, well, like in this experience, I definitely experienced that experience.
Right. It's like the famous the Rashomon, the Akira, the way you see. Yeah. Everyone has a different perspective on something, the stories that unfolds. You have, and we always talk about a band that has, it's more than one singer. You have singers that can handle it, and obviously you're all invested in the creation of the product. But we often talk about the band Queen and the fact that every member was an essential part of that band over time and creating the songs. And
every member wrote a #1 hit in that band.
And that it sounds like you have kind of a vibe that's working that way.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And it was by accident. Paolo, he can sing. And then whenever Ben joined, like, Ben can sing, and then Daniel comes along and he can sing, and so it's just like, this is great. So like,
and you all play Mario Kart.
Yeah, we all play Mario Kart, and I always win. Let's go ahead and throw that in there. But on It's Over, it's really cool because in the song, it's just like at the very end, there's layers of it's me, and then Paolo closes it out, but then Ben will harmonize with Paolo, and then I'll start singing while Daniel's harmonizing with me.
Love it.
And it's just like
it's awesome.
It's just
one
circle.
Yeah.
No, if you can layer vocals with multiple singers, it's just such a great full sound, and it's you can't fake that. I mean, you got to be good singers, so it's cool. All right, well, we're ready for one more from you guys. What are we going to play this time around, Colin?
We're playing Numb.
This is Numb. Excellent.
yes,
You've been
sir.
hearing it on MMR. The band Sleep Theory, and they're going to be playing at Franklin Music Hall tonight. Show is at 7 o'clock, and they're live on MMR. Here we go.
Looking in the eyes of a broken dream, another new plan torn at the seams. I don't know if it's all been me or someone else pulling at my strings. Living every day like it's on repeat, another played out dead end routine. Stuck in place as the walls close in, plotting out my escape again. Crawling my way from a prison cell, no one can save me but myself. I know there's something more that I'm missing.
Hoping to find my place somewhere.
Staring right into the sun, looking for the ending before it's begun. I just need a reason to bleed. It feels like my heart's going numb. Heart's going numb. I'm losing my place when I gave it all, pushing my back up against the wall. When it takes everything to survive, it's hard enough just to feel alive. Every new scar that I try to hide, I need a way out, but I'm out of time. I know there's something holding me here at the bottom.
Hoping to find my place somewhere.
Staring right into the sun, looking for the ending before it's begun. I just need a reason to bleed. It feels like my heart's going numb. Heart's going numb.
Years quickly changing my eyes. Kaleidoscope vision invade my mind, leaving perception behind. Going blind now, turn the lights out. Hoping to find my place somewhere.
I know there's something more that I'm missing.
Hoping to find my place somewhere.
I know there's something holding me here at the bottom.
Staring right into the sun.
Looking for the ending before it's begun. I just need a reason to bleed. It feels like my heart's going numb.
Feels like my heart's going
Staring right into the sun, looking for the ending before it's begun. I just need a reason to bleed. It feels like my heart's going numb. Heart's going numb.
Yeah. Sleep Theory on 93.3 WMMR. The song is Numb, playing Franklin Music Hall tonight. Beartooth is along with them. Shows at 7 o'clock. Tickets at axs.com. Cullen, it's nice job, dude. The voice. I know you're right on the edge.
Yeah, felt like industry plant for a second. 'Cause I couldn't remember the lyrics halfway through the song. I was like,
You're not
what
an
do I do?
industry plant.
I was like, what do I do? I was like, I just got to think. I don't know why. It's just like your brain just sometimes cuts out.
Yeah. Listen, we've had. Who do we have in here?
It was Jet. They completely forgot the lyrics.
Completely
to,
forgot.
Are You
Yeah,
Be
yeah,
My
yeah.
Girl,
It
I
happens
think,
so
or Full Heart.
often. Like
Yeah.
you play a song so many times, and then it just.
You know what? Like,
How
so
many-
I watch a lot of I've watched The Voice and I've watched American Idol, and you'll see sometimes these contestants will forget the lyrics and they they panic, right? And what's the most reassuring are these seasoned artists, Lionel Richie, Katy Perry going, it happens. You know what I mean? Like it happens to the best of us. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. People like Barbara Streisand. She sings with a teleprompter. Because, I mean, it just happens. But,
dude, I get there sometimes. I'm like, funny story. Back in 2000, I think it is 13 or 14, I actually tried out for American Idol.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they didn't like me.
They didn't like you. Didn't make it well, you don't have the last laugh.
Yeah, they didn't like me.
Did you make it before the panel at all? Or no? Oh man,
it was in Ole Miss. Not Ole Miss. Where's the place out there in? I guess it was Ole Miss. Yeah, it was Ole Miss.
Okay.
It was at the college.
Yeah.
It was a very long line. It was a really long line.
Wow.
I got there and I was saying, they're like, "All right, next." I was like, "Damn."
You ever look back on it and you're like, they're lost.
What song did you sing?
I was like, "Dang."
Yeah. What did you sing, Colin?
I think I sang a Daughtry song.
Really? That's what's up.
Either that or Lionel Richie.
That's the way. It
was one of the two.
Yeah.
It was one of the two.
Hey, I wanted to ask real quick, and the name of the band, Sleep Theory. Is there a reason behind that, or is there an actual theory, or is the theory that you're not going to get any sleep in the world of rock, or what?
Yeah, it actually worked out because we're always. Ben sleeps the most.
Oh yeah.
Ben's just always gone. He's always gone.
You get me in a van, it's over.
We'll sleep at the hotel, get in the van, sleep till the venue. I'm always picking on him. I'm like, dude, wake up.
He's catatonic.
Are you the older brother?
I'm the older brother.
Okay, so you can pick on him.
Yeah.
Makes total
I mean,
sense.
we all kind of poke at Ben.
Ben, yeah.
Yeah, but when Ben starts
the
poking
baby.
at you, and then it's just like, all right, Ben, stop.
He is annoying.
But yeah, the name actually comes from man. We were looking for a band name for like years.
Yeah,
like, it was at least 2 years, and then it just kept on like this. Stuff kept getting thrown around, and then someone was like, "Have we tried scientific names?"
Yeah,
I was like, "Well, no. I mean, I'm not really that guy. I didn't know scientific words, so I was like, I googled scientific words.
Yeah.
And so like, literally, if you go to Google, I don't know which one it is, but it's the top one. If you type in scientific words, a list will pop up, and it's like a list of however many scientific words. And I clicked on it, and it had 2 columns, and it had like a whole bunch of words like listed down it. And on one side it said REM sleep, and on the other side it said theory, and everything else just kind of like
disappeared and you
I
just
saw REM
focused
sleep,
in
and I
on
was
it.
like,
Yep.
get that out of here.
Yeah.
REM sleep. I was like, but sleep theory. I was like,
Yeah.
we're on to something. All right. And it's kind of like I don't know if you guys Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
That's how he got his name apparently. Like he went to the random rap generator.
Really? Yeah.
And then it was just like he typed in
seriously.
No kidding. Childish Gambino.
I was just listening to Redbone yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Oh, yeah.
Grateful Dead. You know how they got their name? They opened a dictionary.
Yeah, that's right.
Boom. And just blindly pointed down, and Grateful Dead was what they pointed at.
Well, if you'd used my Google search, you would have been Bustiations.
Yeah.
Hey, you're on to something. You're on to something.
Too late to change the name.
I mean, we already have a name, but I think I'm hearing a new album.
You need to go to the Philippines.
Artist formerly
Paolo's
known
got
as
you.
I got
Take it.
All the way.
There we go.
Got a tour guide with you.
I keep a list. I always when I say a phrase, and I always say that'd be a great band name. And this is the list of all band names that I have here because I think at some point you're like somebody might want to be named Monkey Paste,
Monkey Paste,
or
I wonder how that gets
Chaz is Chaz. I'm looking at these basically Moose Soup.
Moose
or
It sounds like a Dance Gavin Dance
Yeah, I was
song.
about to say I'd listen to Moose Soup.
Moose Soup, yeah.
How about this one? The Hip Vaginas.
They open for Busty Asians.
You never know when a good band name will come along.
No.
There you go.
But Sleep Theory was the one, and that sticks, and you guys are doing great. So
Thank you.
nice
Thank you so
job.
much.
They're playing, like I said, tonight at the Franklin Music Hall. Make sure you take a listen to their new EP. It's called Paper Hearts, and we've been playing, obviously, the single Numb off of there. You can go to sleeptheoryofficial.com for all things about the band. And, of course, you can find their music anywhere that music streams. But go see them tonight at Franklin Music Hall. It's going to be a great night tonight.
Yeah.
And obviously, these guys are fantastic. Thank you guys for spending the time to come by here. We appreciate it.
having us.
Sleep Theory, guys.
Thank you.
On the Preston and Steve Show. We will take a break. We'll come back in just a second, and we'll move along with some B-File stories, so stay with us.
Back on 93.3 WMMR.
All righty. We have some bizarre file stories to go through, so let's do it.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, we're going to start with this close call, but people were saved. 23 skiers and snowboarders had to be rescued in frigid temperatures Saturday after becoming lost in the back country of Killington, Vermont.
Killington, Vermont.
Yeah, after a call came in around 2:30 p.m., search and rescue crews hiked.
Yeah, I'm a bear, and I think I saw some lost people out here.
They hiked, snowshoed, and used skis with skins to travel about 5 miles. I don't know what that means.
The Kim Kardashian?
Yeah, maybe they were all wearing no, that's Skims.
Oh, Skims.
To bring a group of 21 lost skiers and riders back to safety. Temperatures were in the single digits. The skiers and snowboarders warmed up in rescuers' vehicles on their return. And then another call came in for 2 more lost skiers. 6 rescuers went back into the woods, found them, and walked them out to safety around 7:30. You guys ever been to Killington?
No.
We've given away tons of trips to Killington before.
I hear it's awesome.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, I've never been there.
Especially the backcountry where you can get lost and have to be rescued.
Rescuers included members of Killington Search and Rescue and the Killington Resort Ski Patrol as well. Tampa Bay, there has apparently been a mysterious bass sound that people have been hearing since 2021, and no one knows where it's coming from. But a scientist named James Lacasio thinks that it might be mating fish.
Mating fish play, and they play a bass when they mate?
No, this bass sound is being created from their.
Because I know you can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish.
Specifically, he says black drumfish. These fish make throbbing sounds during their mating season.
Wow, wow.
Hi,
pretty lady.
The sound can travel pretty far, up to a mile away from the water.
You know, it's all about the bass.
A local resident named Sarah Healy listened to recordings of the fish sounds and thinks that Lacasio might be right. She's even trying to raise money to install underwater recorders to confirm it.
So it's so loud it's audible from out.
Yeah.
That far. It's
interesting.
It blows my mind.
Yeah. My dad used to fish for drum, but I don't remember. What the hell was that?
Just the engineers, that's all.
Oh, okay.
If Ronnie breaks
fish.
it, he'll fix it.
Yeah. All right. So what else do we have here for? A Kansas couple has been charged with fraudulently collecting more than $215,000 in retirement benefits on behalf of a dead relative while they concealed his body inside their home for 6 years.
Oh, my God.
Well, he was retired.
Authorities say Mike Carroll's pacemaker showed that he died in 2016 at age 81. But police didn't discover his body until 2022 after his son-in-law, Kirk Ritter, called police to report his death. Prosecutors say Lynn Ritter and Kirk Ritter, both 61, continued depositing and spending from Carroll's bank account even while his body became mummified on a bed in the home he owned.
They even hooked his appendages up to strings, Preston, and would have him wave to people as they walked by.
Oh, Bernie. So family members said that the Ritters would repeatedly give them excuses about why Carroll could never take a phone call or visit while leading them to believe that Carroll was still alive.
Oh, she's just dead.
Yeah.
They're dead tired.
Yeah, tired.
The couple is due to appear in federal court to face several charges. Prosecutors said the pension and Social Security payments Carroll received over the 6 years after his death totaled $216,000. But bank records from that time showed checks being written from his bank account and cashed by Lynn and Kirk Ritter.
You've had a number of stories where the people will hold on to the body or put it in a freezer and keep collecting the Social Security or all the benefits.
Yep. I told you, my friend, she lived in North Carolina, and they were friends. This guy would come over, and they would watch football together on Sundays, and they always thought he was a little bit off. And as it turns out, his mom was dead in his house for like months and months.
Would he ever bring his mom over?
No. He always left her at home. Says she was just dead tired.
Just dead tired.
Yeah.
All right, a Turkish banker who wanted his penis enlarged is now suing his doctor for shortening it instead.
Oh my God, he shrunk it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had the work order upside down.
Dr. Haluk Soilemez is being accused of shrinking his patient by a centimeter instead of lengthening his organ by 3.
Oh, centimeter bigger. Sorry.
The patient is seeking $16,500 in compensation and claims that his digit was originally 12 centimeters long and is now 11.12 centimeters, which is about 4.7 inches. The doctor said the procedure failed due to the patient's anatomical structure.
Right, couldn't just do it.
But that he is not guilty of any wrongdoing at all.
Could they keep the penis the same size it is, but move the ass back so it appears bigger?
Oh, that's a good idea. Just a kind of a
give the
optical
impression.
illusion. Yeah, that might
Forced
work.
perspective, they call it.
Yeah. A beauty salon owner had to seek medical attention after getting her handbag stuck in her nose.
How the hell does that happen?
Exactly. Kayla Robinson was lifting her crossbody bag over her head when the zipper got lodged under her right nostril.
Wow.
The freak accident left the 41-year-old bleeding and sobbing in pain. She was forced to visit a walk-in center where medics cut the Brown River Island bag off of her nose.
Would have happened if she was Amish.
And pulled the zipper from her nostril. Kayla, who owns Slay Beauty Rooms, said, "Stuff like this always happens to me. Nobody that knows me was even surprised. If it's going to happen to anybody, it's going to happen to me. I could probably try that a million times over and never be able to do it again."
Kathy, your picture's up on the screen here. Look at the aftermath. Yeah, she's actually attractive.
So she said the incident occurred as she was trying to get to her dogs in the car. She said, "I lifted up my bag to take it over my head. The next thing I know, my bag was stuck and it was wedged in my right nostril."
Wow.
Kayla said that initially she thought the bag must have been stuck to her nose piercing before realizing it was actually attached to her nostril. And she said there was quite a bit of blood. I was crying in pain. And she said, my dogs were devastated. They weren't getting taken for a walk anymore. And I was crying my eyes out. I was panicking because I really thought that it had come through the front of my nose. I thought that I was going to have a huge gaping hole in my nose and it was going to need plastic surgery. Kayla said staff and patients in the walk-in center were left stunned by what had happened to her. However, she was due to start work in the afternoon and was determined to get to the salon in time for her clients' appointments. But they stitched her up and they got rid of it and got her taken
One of those
care
goofy things you can't believe happened.
A little freak accident.
Yeah.
And there you go. That is what I have in the bizarre file for you this morning. Before we take a break, I want to remind you, we mentioned this promotion. I got to make sure that this is up and running. People can do this now? Okay. So we have 2 VIP experiences for the Flyers alumni game, which is taking place on Friday night at the Wells Fargo Center. We are going to be talking to Eric Lindros on Thursday. And what we are going to do is have you entered to win the contest through PrestonandSteve.com. You have to submit your phone number because we are going to randomly choose a number. We are going to call that with Eric Lindros on the line. When you answer the phone, it will be in the 7 o'clock hour, all right, on that morning, Thursday morning.
Yeah.
The first thing out of your mouth has to be,
I never thought Eric Lindros would be calling my phone.
If you say anything else besides, I never thought Eric Lindros would be calling my phone, you lose. But if you answer the phone in that way,
I never thought Eric Lindros would be calling my phone.
You win the VIP experience for the game, all right?
No wiggle room.
Nope.
It's got to be that.
Yep. We don't even want to hear you clear your throat.
Right.
You've got to say that right off the bat. So you can go to PrestonandSteve.com and you can enter to win that now. And if you win, then you can say
A little dipsy-doo.
if you like, because you'll be so quite happy. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back in a second. Lesson Question, Trash, and Music News is on the way. Beyond the March, everything that rocks. It is 10:14. It's Tuesday morning. Clouds, but more mild for sure. Today's high 43.
Yeah.
Similar tomorrow with some afternoon rain. And then Thursday 53, Friday 64 degrees. Possibly coming with some rain that day, by the way. But we are warming up this weekend, so not too bad at all. Marissa printed out, we just had the band Sleep Theory here. She printed out some chatter that was going on. Were these text messages or text messages? And a lot of people were just raving about these guys. Somebody says the Sleep Theory guys are going to be awesome. My kids and I have been into them for the last year or so.
Oh, cool.
They finally made it to MMR. Someone says my husband and son are coming to the show tonight. These tickets were my son's Christmas present. They're so incredibly excited to see them. Somebody said saw Sleep Theory do their first big show with Shinedown in Madison, Wisconsin last summer. I'll be seeing them again on the Ship Rocked in a couple of weeks as well. And so a lot of love. And they are playing tonight, by the way, at Franklin Music Hall. So it was very cool to have them by here this morning. We are going to give away a pair of tickets as MMR rocks The Doobie Brothers with Steve Winwood. And this show will be Saturday, August 3rd at Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. And the question that we'll ask is this. What did Melanie, the Alaskan Airlines flight attendant, destroy after handing Rainn Wilson a nice note about the office? 215-263 WMMR. Let's see if you know the answer to that. They destroyed it? Is that what they did?
Yeah.
Okay. What did Melanie, the Alaska Airlines flight attendant, destroy after handing Rainn Wilson a nice note about the office? And that was from about 7 o'clock this morning. 215-263 WMMR. If you happen to know, give us a call.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you this morning by CSB Media Art Center. Trained for a career in broadcast media, web development, social media marketing, and filmmaking at CSB Media Arts Center in Cherry Hill. Visit gocsb.com. That's gocsb.com. What's going on this morning, Steve?
Well, Kanye West seen wearing a T-shirt for the Norwegian metal band Burzum, whose lead singer is a self-avowed Nazi. West said he was simply wearing the shirt because it's a tri-blend and also because he's anti-Semitic.
Hey!
Michael Brown, the lead defense attorney for suspected serial killer Rex Heuermann, says just because his client has a very disturbing internet history doesn't make him a killer. Brown then added, saying, what it does is make him an awesome killer.
Oh, my God.
And finally, the estate of Michael Jackson attempting to shut down a Las Vegas tribute show, claiming it's very low rent. According to the estate, Jackson is being played by Terry Bradshaw.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work. That's your Hollywood trash.
All right. We'll see if you know the answer to this. What did Melanie, the Alaska Airlines flight attendant, destroy after handing Rainn Wilson a nice note about the office? 215-263 WMMR. We'll go to Matt. Try it out on him. Hey, Matt. Good morning, buddy.
Good morning.
All right. So what did Melanie, the Alaskan Airlines flight attendant, destroy after handing Rainn Wilson a nice note from the office?
The airplane door.
Yes, that is true. Yes. Hang on, Matt. Tickets to see this band along with Steve Winwood Saturday, August 3rd at Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. And tickets go on sale this Friday, by the way, at 10 a.m. via Ticketmaster. All right, music news. Let's go.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
You're loco, man.
All right, we just got concert information. Nick passed this along. There's a band coming to town. The show will be, there's 2 shows for this particular band, July 19th and 20th. Is one of those a Friday?
Well, one of them's my birthday.
One of them is Nick's birthday, and it just so happens to be one of Nick's all-time favorite bands, Dave Matthews Band. So DMB will be playing.
Sorry, I picked the wrong
Freedom
freaking
Mortgage.
song.
I'm like, what song is this?
I thought it was this one. My bad. My bad. And by the way, your birthday's on a Saturday, I believe.
Yeah,
Nick.
it is. Thank you.
Perfect.
It's 19th and 20th, Friday and Saturday. Wow. That's 2 years in a row. Friday and Saturday shows in Camden. That's great.
Tickets go on sale February 16th at 10 a.m.
What was their first song?
Keep
It
that
was
in mind.
American Baby.
It's a pretty song. It's,
It is.
Not exactly a rousting one.
Wouldn't call it a hit.
No.
All right, so Dave Matthews, Freedom Mortgage Pavilion, July 19th and 20th, and tickets are on sale February 16th at 10 a.m. So
Nice.
Heads up on that. This was pretty big news that I saw yesterday. Billy Joel is releasing a new song. It's called Turn the Lights Back On. February 1st it comes out. This is the Piano Man's first single in 17 years. And even that, his last one was Christmas in Fallujah with fellow Long Island singer Cass Dillon. Joel announced the news on Monday after teasing it via his social media. But honestly, he hasn't really had new music out. I mean, Billy Joel music since 1993 when River of Dreams came out. That was the last real new music that he wrote music and lyrics for.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Now, you're a big fan, Kathy.
We talked about this after he played here this summer, and I went to see him, and we talked about how he hadn't had new music in however
But I
long.
heard that conversation, Kathy,
And
and
he-
he inspired me to write a new song.
Did he write it for me?
He did.
wrote it for you.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
He mentions Target in it 3 times.
So, yeah, 30 years, 30 some odd
Wow.
years.
That's
it's
crazy.
been since he has had any new music. I thought he was done, period,
Yeah.
because he had said years ago he was just tired of writing songs. And also, he didn't feel relevant anymore and trying to write a hit. You know, I mean, some people continue on, like, Paul Simon.
Yeah.
And they write them and they go out there and they exist and they don't
They enjoy
really
wasting their time.
They don't hit. Bob Dylan is kind of the same way.
It's completely for their. I mean, honestly, that's why Rolling Stones and a couple of other artists now who are releasing things that are clicking is such the anomaly. It's such an amazing thing.
So he did in 2001, he put out an album of classical compositions called Fantasies and Delusions and released another single in 2007 called All My Life, which he wrote and recorded as an anniversary gift to his now ex-wife, Katie Lee. But during a conversation before Turn the Lights Back On was announced, he was asked if he ever considered writing original material again. He said, absolutely. I haven't shut the door on it. I'm still writing music. I'm just not writing lyrics now. And I'm not writing in song form. I'm writing in a more abstract form.
Do you know he Ghost wrote the Jardians theme, Preston?
What's that?
The commercial for the Jardians.
No. He said, I'm comfortable with it, but if I get an idea for a song, excuse me, I'm not going to stop myself from writing it. I'll do it.
Huh.
I just haven't woken up recently with a great song idea, so apparently he has now.
It just, honestly, living in service of all the music he has written and celebrating that vast body of work, obviously that can be satisfying. But I think, every once in a while, you're probably inspired to say, I think I have something new to say.
Yep, he returns to the road January 24th playing Tokyo and will spend the rest of the year alternating between his monthly shows at New York's Madison Square Garden and stadium dates with Sting and Stevie Nicks at different times. So pretty cool. I'm excited. I hope it's. I had read somewhere it's classic Billy Joel of industry insiders who have heard it. So hopefully that's the case. Kane Brown and Greta Van Fleet will headline Guy Fieri's Flavortown Fest 2024.
It's crazy.
Has he done a Flavortown Fest before?
I think he has.
Event organizers announced Monday that they will also be joined by Bret Michaels. They're really good friends.
They are.
Locash and Nico Moon. The festival will be held on June 1st and 2nd in Columbus, Ohio. Additional artist announcements are expected.
I mean, he's ruling everything now.
Yep. And then one last story. People has reported that Hulu has acquired Bon Jovi's first ever docu-series called Thank You, Good Night, The Bon Jovi Story. The series celebrates the band's 40th anniversary of their self-titled album, which was released on January 21st, 1984. The docuseries also documents the band's history, including past and present members. Description, which is directed and executive produced by Gautam Chopra, says, as thrilling as the story of a once-in-a-lifetime talent is, it is even more rare that a legend like John Bon Jovi, lets the world into his most valuable, vulnerable moments while he is still living them.
I assume Richie Sambora will be part of this, right?
It would have to.
It'd have to be.
The
Unless they
four-part
completely
series will premiere in April, by the way.
Could you imagine you show up and it's a biography about the band and he's not included at all?
Just completely block him out of it. All right, and then this is not music news related, but the Oscar nominations are in. I'll just give you the Best Picture, and we'll go through it tomorrow.
Just the top 60 categories.
Tomorrow morning we'll cover it. So for Best Picture, American Fiction.
Yes.
Don't know that.
It's about an author who it's a comedy.
Jeffrey Wright's the star of it, and our friend Laura Cartman did the music for it.
All right.
It looks really, really good. I've not seen it yet, though.
Anatomy of a Fall.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know that one. Anybody know that one?
I'm vaguely familiar.
Barbie.
Yes.
The Holdovers.
I've heard of that.
Killers of the Flower Moon. Maestro.
Yes.
Oppenheimer. Past Lives. Poor Things.
Right.
And then The Zone of Interest. Now, that one I don't know.
Zone of Interest.
I know a couple of them.
I've heard of every single one of those except for
the Zone of Interest.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was the second one you said after American Fiction?
Anatomy of a Fall.
So, Cone of Silence.
And the cone of silence. All right, so yeah, we'll see.
Oh,
Those,
that's a foreign one.
March 10th. It's foreign film?
Yes,
Okay.
because I remember it from the Golden Globes, and I don't know what country. It doesn't really matter.
Got it.
I know that it's devastating and vital. That's what the blurb just said on the screen.
Oh, got it. All right, well, we'll cover that tomorrow in the entertainment news. We're going to take a break. We are going to come back in a second. Letter of the day, word of the week prize, wrapping up the program. All of those above. We'll be right back. Black Keys on MMR. The song is called Beautiful People Stay High. Stay high's in parentheses, so or whatever. I don't know. Give that whatever meaning you want to it. 10:33, and it is Tuesday morning. We're getting ready to wrap up today's program. Thank you for being along for the duration. If you have been hanging out for about a bit, we do appreciate that. We got a couple more orders of business before wrapping the day, but I would like to thank the band Sleep Theory.
Yeah. Guys
for
are
being
great.
here this morning. Super nice guys. Played a great couple of songs for us here.
I guess that's your theory.
Yeah, Sleep Theory, yes. They're performing at Franklin Music Hall tonight, 7 o'clock with Beartooth. And let's see, tickets available at AXS.com. Their website is sleeptheoryofficial.com. So cool guys. We definitely appreciated them stopping by here this morning. And I'll reiterate this announcement that we made. We have the Flyers alumni game coming up on Friday night, Wells Fargo Center. They're playing Boston's alumni team. And we have 2 VIP experiences. And there's a lot of greats that are going to be here. Like Mike Richards is coming back in town for this. And obviously Eric Lindros is a part of it. We just had Fridge on the other day, Todd Fedoruk. But what we're going to do is you have to enter to win these tickets, and you have to give us your phone number. The reason being is because on Thursday, we will have Eric Lindros on the show, and we might call you sometime in the 7 o'clock hour. Is that when he's going to be on with us, in the 7 o'clock hour?
Yeah, in between 7:15 and 7:45, thereabouts.
All right. So if we call your number, as soon as you pick up the phone, you don't say anything but this.
I never thought Eric Lindros would be calling my phone.
All right? I never thought Eric Lindros would be calling my phone. Write that down.
Got to
have that at the ready, because if you say anything else, you will not win. You have to answer the phone that way. So make sure that you do it. And you just go to PrestonandSteve.com and get yourself signed up. By the way, the Flyers alumni game, the tickets are on sale now at FlyersCharities.com. The proceeds benefit the Flyers Charities and Flyers Alumni Association. So that is going to be on Thursday morning, just a couple days away from that. But you need to get entered into that right now in order to be a part of that. Pierre Robert is here. Hi.
Hi there, kids.
Nice to see you, sir.
And to see you is nice.
That's very good. Shall we do the letter of the day?
Yes.
Just kick it right off. All right.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
The Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by the letter
R as in Roots Radical Rebellion.
All right. Roots Radical Rebellion. We're giving away a $500 Steven Singer gift card. And you can say I love you with the world's best gift from Steven Singer Jewelers. It's a Malibu Pink 24-karat gold dip rose. The brand new color is available now only at IHateStevenSinger.com. Before we find out what you have in store, today's Tat Tuesday. I'd like to give away that prize right about now. So we are congratulating Mr. Tom Hornberger.
You old Hornberger, you.
From Hornburgers from Morgantown, by the way. So we have a $350 gift card for our friends at Floating World Tattoo and Piercing. And you can find this wonderful establishment at 1729 South Street in Philadelphia. And for artwork samples, you can visit floatingworldtattoos.com or check them out at Instagram at Floating World Tattoos. So congratulations to you, Tom. Today's program, what's up?
Well, I wanted to plug tomorrow. Tomorrow we have Chad Taylor of Live coming in.
Nice.
And he's going to play some songs. I don't know if you've had this in music news, but apparently Live has broken up yet again. This time Ed Kowalczyk, who had rejoined the band, and they were all happy and harmonious, apparently fired the band. Now, I don't know.
If you're the one person and you fire the entire band, is that really how the thing works?
Well, that
or do you just leave the band?
Leads me to wonder who owns the name.
Yeah.
Because if Years ago, I hosted a show at the now Ardmore Music Hall, then the 23's Cabaret of the Guess Who. And Burton Cummings wasn't in it. The original bass player had bought the rights to the name.
Right.
And he went out with replacement musicians, and it was essentially a cover band.
Right. Guess
but he
when.
could call it the Guess Who. And they played all the songs, but the guy who wrote them and sang them was not in the group. So Ed Kowalczyk may own the rights to the name live. At any rate, they've broken up yet again. But he's got some music, and he's going to bring a lady, and they're going to sing some classic live songs.
Nice.
By the way, if there's a band called Guess What, you know who would have to open for him, right?
Who?
Chicken Butt.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Guess what? Chicken butt.
Tonight, Guess What? And Chicken Butt.
Yeah, I love it, man.
It'd be perfect, yeah.
That makes
We need that show.
So you'll have the answer
Yeah.
to the question tomorrow?
Well, I think we will.
Okay.
He's very honest and forthcoming and a great guy. Still lives in the area.
Yeah.
We'll on today's program have more tickets for the Black Crows. No, the Black, I almost said Black Keys. I get the Black Keys and the Black Crows confused.
The Black Crows, I'm sure, have keys that they use to get into various things.
They do.
Yeah.
And then they will open the door and then fly away as eagles. Also, we'll have a block.
The crows will fly away as eagles
Yes,
because
it's sort of like a worm turning into a butterfly. Because the worm comes out of the ground and then turns into the butterfly and then flies away.
So the crow digs into the ground and then it comes out an eagle.
It's reborn an eagle.
Right.
And so where it once was singing Jealous Again, it now is singing Hotel California.
Yeah.
Follow my train of thought. And now, today's program, we'll have more tickets for whatever that show was. And Cheap Trick, also Workforce Blocks of the Offspring and ELO and Double Shot Tuesday.
Yeah,
If you're very cheap-
Robin Zander's birthday
That's
today.
correct.
70. It's a big one for him.
It's a big one.
He lives in Clearwater, right?
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're hoping to maybe try and track him down and get him on. If you know him, and tell him we're coming to Clearwater and we want to have him on our show, please, Robin Zander. All right, I want to thank our sponsors. The Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by Meineke. Meineke Car Care. You won't pay a lot, but you'll get a lot. And also brought to you by Duncan. And the Preston and Steve Show runs on Duncan. Tomorrow, Wednesday, Fox Good Day, secret text word. And we will have, Jamie Drysdale of the Flyers on the program.
That's awesome.
Yeah, very cool. So that's it. We're done. Rage on. Have yourself a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow, friend. Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.